UAP.
Yes.
This is the Uncovering Anomalies podcast. That is, I have a need to know Adam.
Hello, everybody.
And I am Topher.
Topher.
And we are doing a deep dive
That's right.
on MJ-12 today, the June 30th of 2024. We are flying through this year, my man.
Yes, we are. I mean, we're officially in July. That's it.
Yeah. Do you have any fun plans for the holiday coming up? You gonna celebrate some freedom?
I think one of our family members is having a July 4th. I don't want to say her name, but one of our second cousins or distant cousins. So she's having something. I think we're going there.
Well, I did not get the invite, which means I'm on the B list. Did your mom ever talk about the A list and the B list in the family?
No, she didn't.
Because I've heard, I've heard several stories about the B list, and I've been a part of several stories about
That's
the B
hilarious.
list.
So there's a B. Oh, I mean, I guess I can tell. I think I can figure out what she's talking about.
Like, did you ever go to any of the Easter? I don't remember seeing you there. The Easter celebrations up in Washington, Seattle.
Oh no, no. I've only been to visit. I only visited them once, and I was early teens.
Okay.
That side.
A lot of. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of great people and a lot of great family members up there.
Yeah.
There were some people who are definitely B-listers. Actually, you know what? I'll tell one of the stories because
Okay.
There was a guy.
And this is the part of the family that moved from San Francisco to Washington, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
Actually, can I say this? Our grandfather's sister.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they were in San Francisco, and then
Okay.
they moved to Washington after that. Yeah.
Someone who's on that side of the family, I think they're married in. He pretended to be blind at one family gathering. Do you know about this? Have you heard about
Dude,
this?
that sounds familiar, but that's crazy. Are you serious? He pretended to be blind.
Yes, he had glasses. He had the cane. The whole thing.
You're kidding me.
The only reason I'm bringing this up is because I was a kid when I met him and his family, and I was making face because I thought he was blind, and I was making faces at him.
No, you weren't.
The entire family gathering, the entire Easter, and then later, when like years later, it had come up in conversation, and my parents were talking about how this guy had pretended to be blind. It was very weird.
So he saw your facial expression.
I don't think he did. Or maybe he did. I don't know.
Okay, I thought that you were going to say something that he finally came forward that he was just pretending, and he saw you making faces.
That's how deep in character this guy was.
Oh my god. Classic. What was he didn't want to interact with anyone. He wanted people to feel sorry for him.
I don't know. I've got no answers. Just like everyone else there probably was looking at this guy going, he's not blind. Because I definitely saw him talking to people.
Oh man, that's hilarious. I mean, I need to. I mean, actually, that's a good excuse because I want to make a trip from California all the way up to Oregon, all the way up to Washington, and stopping by family members is a good idea.
I mean, it's a great drive. When I was about 14 or 15, we flew. Did we fly? No, we drove down to where we are currently, and then drove up the coast for spring break. It was a lot of fun. Got to see the redwood forest. That's what I remember the most about that trip.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
it really is. We have a cousin in Oregon, by the way, so I'm definitely going to try and stop by there. Yes, we do. Man. One of our first cousins.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about
yeah. He's fun times.
I haven't seen him since I was a wee lad.
Yeah, that's because he left California like over a decade ago, so it's been around that for me, like a decade.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So, like you said, we're doing a deep dive into the MJ-12 documents. And probably the best source to go to is majesticdocuments.com.
Hell yeah.
And they have, this is their new book. But if you want to do like like the investigation team. So
Go.
Robert M. Wood,
Yeah.
he's the owner of the site, and he has a Bachelor of Science in Aeronautic Engineering. There it is. He worked for McDonnell Douglas, managing research and development projects, and over 30 years of investigation into UFOs. Dr. Wood is uniquely qualified to provide credible analysis about the nature of the UFO reality.
Well, like you said, he's got a Bachelor of Science in Aeronautical Engineering, but he also has a PhD in physics. So this is not just some guy off the
Right.
street.
Right. And then this guy, Ryan S. Wood, is his son, and he used to run the crash retrieval conferences in the 90s. He ran those. He wrote the new book, Magic Eyes Only, which I recommend everyone get. He goes through a lot of these documents. So he's got a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics and Computer Science from Cal Poly. So these aren't dumb people.
Right.
Uh,
Although that picture of him looks like he got caught walking out of a bathroom or something.
it does. That's the look he has. He always looks
Ah!
surprised. Met Stan Friedman in 1969. Archival research expertise today. Nick
Back in the
Redfern, we
summer
all
of
know
69.
him.
We love Nick Redfern. I love
Yeah.
it. Great author. He wrote The Real Men in Black, which is one of my favorite books on my bookshelf.
And he most of his books are on Audible, and I have all of the ones that are available on Audible. Listen
yeah.
to all of them multiple times. The NASA conspiracy is a great one. He also wrote the one. What's that group that thinks it's all demonic? He wrote that book. You read it too.
Blanking. I
Oh
don't know
man,
the name of the book.
is it here?
He's a tremendous author though, and he
Yeah.
clearly does so much research.
Yeah, so one of his 3 best-selling books are A Covert Agenda, the British government's UFO top secret exposed, the FBI files, the FBI's UFO top secrets exposed, and Cosmic Crashes, the incredible story of the UFOs that fell to Earth.
He maybe should get shorter titles.
You know, I always think though when I see these really long ones, I'm like, it might be an SEO thing if you want to do that. You know, if people are searching for some things in titles. That's why I always think when it's a long title. Of course, Stanton Friedman.
Very prominent in the UFO
Yeah.
field. Stan Freeman received his master's degree in physics from the U of Chicago and has this distinction of being the longest full-time lecturer and researcher in ufology. And if you ever come across UFO videos online where he's featured, this guy is very well spoken,
Oh yeah.
very
Yeah.
smart. He knows
Very
what he's talking about.
And a great sense of humor, right?
Yeah. And he's not, the thing is, he's not chasing after Bigfoot or like some weird niche thing.
Right.
I mean, he is following the evidence and doing real hardcore research.
Yeah, and he's an expert on the 1952 Eisenhower briefing document, which we'll go over. The first civilian investigator of the Roswell incident, has given over 700 lectures about UFOs in 15 countries and been to 19 archives. Timothy S. Cooper, he's also known to he's a researcher that the government trusted with sending UFO documents to back in the day, I think in the 80s. So Mr. Cooper quietly began his investigation into CIA and NSA UFO activities in 1998 through FOIA requests. He has received private investigator training and served his country during Vietnam in both the Navy and the Marine Corps. And then Jim Clarkson,
UFO researcher and state section director for the Seattle area. We were just talking about Seattle, huh? It's a fun coincidence. Seattle area Mutual UFO Network, MUFON, with a 20-year career as a detective in Washington State. Mr. Clarkson and his wife have specialized in investigating the story of June Crane, a former Air Force secretary who, before she died, revealed UFO-related secrets she had typed or overheard during the course of her work at Wright-Patterson AFB Air Force Base. Very cool stuff. So this is featuring a lot of people who are in the UFO field and not just random so-and-so off the street. These are the real deal people.
Yep. And so they're the ones who looked at these documents, like document authentication. So each document we're going to look at has a rating that they give. And they go through like how they actually went through all these So like, yeah, high level of authenticity, 80 to 100%. This means that virtually all of the available investigation channels and ideas have been pursued, and each test the document is shown to be authentic. So, for example, tests in paper, ink, obscure content, handwriting, period typography, and fonts, correct formatting, forensic linguistics, along with no signs of anachronisms, all indicate the highest level of authenticity, and so on and so forth. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah,
we don't have to go through all these, but there's
no,
medium high, medium low, low level. But do you just want to, real quick off the top, do you want to like say, it's not fair to give it a brief summary, but what I'm just for people
we
who
can do
don't
this.
know what the MJ-12 documents are, do you want to give a quick
Should we
uh
go through this timeline?
yeah, actually, you know what? That would really help.
All right, so Majestic Documents history. So September 1947, President Truman authorizes investigative groups. Many documents have suggested a Majestic 12 organization being formed in the same time frame as the Roswell crash, and we can read more. But that's what really started it. It was the Roswell crash that did it.
Right. So, but just to really poorly sum it up, the Majestic 12 was a committee that
Mhm.
was created to investigate UFO crashes and just UFOs in general, I think.
Exactly, UFOs and aliens or non-human intelligence, and it was a mix of military and scientific personnel.
Mhm.
Military and intelligence, was intelligence even there? No, not yet. So yeah, like generals, lieutenant colonels, and then scientists. The most well-known one is Vannevar Bush. He was the head of the science, the White House science something. He was something really big in science back in the
And
day.
and this group was very secret. If I
Yeah,
remember, I could be completely spitballing, no, completely making this up. But I think this is correct. When Truman, supposedly authenticated this program, he also basically he made it so none of his successors could ever find out about this, find out about Majestic
yeah,
12.
exactly. And then apparently in during Nixon's era, it went private, so it's not part of the government anymore. And supposedly it's called Zodiac, something like that. But
Mhm.
yeah, and that's what sucks about these things is that they just get lost through history.
Yeah,
And
they keep getting paid, and there's no official name on it.
yeah, and so that's why these documents are so important because that's the only trail we're gonna get, and these were leaked out by people in the government.
Can
You
we?
could,
Sorry,
yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say you could say then that maybe that's a psyop or counter intel, but you'd have to go through a lot of effort to hoax some of these documents. Like this one is like almost 100%.
Can we go back to that timeline and go through it? I think that would
Yeah.
be. I think that's a really good way to start this.
So President Truman authorizes investigative groups. That's in September 1947, and then 1952 Eisenhower briefed on Majestic 12 activities. Do you want me to go to the read more?
No, I think this. No. I don't think you
Okay.
have to.
Okay. Um, so credible documents suggest Majestic 12 activities continued and expanded in the 1950s under President Eisenhower. 1963, JFK's interest in UFOs and murder linked to MJ-12 activity.
Infamous burned memo and other documents suggest interest by JFK in the UFO subject could be connected to his demise. Wouldn't surprise me. Our
No, I wouldn't
government
at all.
loves its secrets.
And this is in
That's a big
1992.
jump. That's a big jump.
Yeah,
63 to 92. Whew.
yeah.
Tim Cooper starts receiving documents from CIA source. Back in the spring of 92, Tim received the Marilyn Monroe document. Oh, I'd love to read that. And others from what Tim believes to be a former CIA employee, most likely an archivist or someone with access to obscure classified historical files.
Yeah, so this one is basically Maryland. They had a taps on her, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, she loved getting her back blown out by JFK. That's not a secret anymore.
Yeah, so apparently she was saying that JFK told her that UFOs are real, and she was going to make a public statement about it, and they killed her. Apparently, that's why they killed her. That's what this
Yeah,
article talks about.
if you, I mean, God, if you want to know about weird U.S. government conspiracies. Look into Marilyn
Yeah,
Monroe's death. I mean, yeah,
yeah, they definitely killed her.
she had a back door into what the UFO or what the U.S. government knew about UFOs at the time.
Wasn't she banging both JFK and RFK? Or was it just
Probably very. You know, it's funny. So I got weird side eyes at work the other day. Everyone's talking
Mm,
about like, who's your celebrity crush? Who do you think's the most attractive celebrity? And I
yeah.
said Marilyn Monroe. I mean, I think she's
Ah,
like one of the most beautiful
yeah,
women that
iconic.
ever existed. And everyone's
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, that's so weird. She's so old." I'm like, "What? No,
Not when she
beauty,
was old.
beauty lasts. Is yeah, she's iconic."
That's hilarious.
But poor woman, had a lot of problems with drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, she did. She definitely did. She had an abusive, I guess, childhood too, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
she didn't have anything going for her other than being attractive, unfortunately.
Yeah.
As we see, that gets you far, but it'll also get you killed.
It'll
Who
end
was
you. It'll end you as well.
yeah, who was that other actress who she played shoot. If you can name
Oh.
if you name famous actresses from Marilyn Monroe's time, it'll pop up. Doesn't doesn't matter,
Judy
forget it.
Garland.
No, well, Judy Garland, very attractive, not who I was talking about though.
Wait a minute. Who's
She
that?
played
Breakfast and Tiffany's. Who's that?
good God.
Is
Oh
it
man.
her? Wait a minute. I
The
can't
one I'm
believe I'm
thinking
blanking.
of, you know what? Forget it. Forget it. I'm not
I
even gonna
think
look it up
I think I'm gonna have dementia like Biden.
because the reason I brought it up is she died of alcoholism. I'm
Breakfast
just
at Tiffany's.
I'm
Oh, anyway.
yeah. Let's move on.
All right, yeah, moving on. All right, so I don't know who this is. It says Selena, daughter of T. Cantwheel, leaks further details to Cooper. A number of significant documents begin arriving through a news source, Selena, to Tim Cooper. Read more. All right, so here, let's get started. We can go to documents
Let's get started.
dated prior to 1948. This is memo to George Marshall from FDR, 27th February 1942. So we click on that, we get a PDF. You want to read that or
Yeah, why not?
oh wait. Oh wait a minute.
Is this the
There it
what's
is.
because the whole reason MJ-12 even came to light was because of a document that was found. Is this the first document?
No. So that one will come.
Do you think
These start
do you think we
pouring
should
in.
do you think we should start with that one or do you want to start with this?
Oh wait a minute, what happened? Let me bring that back up. Present. Yeah, let's look for that one. That would make sense.
Because
The actual
that was the one that blew the lid off of this whole thing.
So George C. Marshall, 1942. Here it is. Double top secret memo on White House. I mean, he's Oppenheimer because the IPU, the Interplanetary Phenomenon Unit, was started also. Here it is. Vannevar Bush letter to President Truman, but that's not. And then General Twining is a great one. See, a lot of stuff happened before he started it, though. Curtis LeMay, Flying
There's so
Saucer,
many.
Twinning's White Hot Report. Yeah, but where's Eisenhower starting it? Lieutenant Colonel Tucker, really?
Yeah, but so someone who was looking into it wasn't Stanton Freeman, was it? He was looking into Roswell and found this document. Is that the one I'm thinking of? Or am I completely wrong?
Maybe. I mean, there was one that actually lays out here. Let's look at this. So September 1947. All right. So if we go back and we go to March, July. Look, all these are after Roswell. Look at that. August, September. That's analytical report. This 2-page top secret magic eyes only report. So it might be that one. Yeah. Yeah. This is it.
Okay.
Oh, it looks terrible.
Yeah, all these are photos.
It's rewritten here.
I can't see what you're looking at, by the way.
Oh. Look how bad it looks.
Oh yeah, that's rough.
So it looks like they retyped it.
So from my research that I did, a lot of these papers were, it was a photocopy essentially sent to the researchers. It's not the actual document. And
Not
that's
well, a lot of them. That's why they actually got the papers. That's why they were analyzing the papers, analyzing the ink. So here,
Mhm.
let's start. Let's start with George
Yeah,
Marshall.
yeah. Let's get into it. Now, how do you want to go about this? Do you want to read the thing, because this is uh
Yeah, I mean, we can read quickly. Probably take a couple of seconds,
sure.
a few seconds.
All right.
So this is the White House, Washington. This is February 27th, 1942. Memorandum for Chief of Staff of the Army. This is FDR. I've considered the disposition of the material in possession of the Army that may be of great significance toward the development of a superweapon of war. I disagree with the argument that such information should be shared with our ally, the Soviet Union. Ally? Oh, yeah, World War II. Consultation with Dr. Bush and other scientists on this issue of finding practical uses for the atomic secrets learned from study of celestial devices precludes any further discussion, and I therefore authorize Dr. Bush to proceed with the project without further delay. This information is vital to the nation's superiority and must remain within the confines of state secrets. Any further discussion on the matter will be restricted to General Donovan, Dr. Bush, the Secretary of War, and yourself. The challenge our nation faces is daunting and perilous in this undertaking, and I have committed the resources of the government towards that end. You have my assurance that when circumstances are favorable and we are victorious, the Army will have the fruits of research in exploring further applications of this new wonder. You may speak to me about this if the above is not wholly clear. FDR.
This
This is
is
a
a
retyped
retyped version of, oh Jesus, FDR's
memorandum.
memo from, oh God, that's a
ISS file or something.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, very interesting stuff.
yeah, and then George C. Marshall to Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Um, let's see. March 5th, 1942, George C. Marshall writes a top secret memo to the president, which states, regarding the air raid over Los
Uh,
Angeles,
that's what it was.
Battle LA, it was learned by Army, is that General 2? Anyway, it
G2.
was learned by Army G2 that Rear Admiral Anderson recovered an unidentified airplane off the coast of California with no bearing on conventional explanation. This headquarters has come to the determination that the mystery airplanes are in fact not earthly, and according to secret intelligence sources, they are all in probability of interplanetary origin. Marshall goes on to state, as a consequence, I have issued orders to Army G2 that a special intelligence unit be created to further investigate the phenomenon and report any significant connection between recent incidents and those collected by the Director of Office of Coordinator of Information. There's a lot of ofs in there. Um, the memo bears correct Office of Chief of Staff (OCS) file numbers and has Interplanetary Phenomenon Unit (IPU) typed on it at a later time by a different typewriter. It is logical to believe that this is the order that sets up the IPU, which would go on to be Majestic 12.
Right. So we can just take a quick look at that documents. This one right here.
Woof.
Yeah. Because a lot of these were destroyed and
Yeah.
burned.
This this one, someone dropped their quill and ink and dragged it across the page.
All right, so this one is Franklin D. Roosevelt memo on non-terrestrial science and technology, 22nd February 1944. So what is double? Here, let me just take a look what double secret means. Double top secret. Okay, someone typed this up again.
Double secret
Double top.
probation.
Double top secret. Oh, he's the original.
Yeah, I mean, good on these researchers for digging into this, because that's a that's a hard read.
It is. I guess we can read
The summary. I like
the
that.
summary instead of trying to read the entire thing, right? All right, so that double top secret memo on White House stationery for the Special Committee on Non-Terrestrial Science and Technology. Both the title and the content clearly allude to extraterrestrial life. The former using the word non-terrestrial, and the latter talks about coming to grips with the reality that our planet is not the only one harboring intelligent life in the universe. Remarkably, the last four words are exactly the title of Sagan's book, co-authored with the Soviet scientist Shklovsky. Clearly, the situation was that we had recovered at least one craft by then, which is probably the LA War of LA.
Yeah, have you?
Although he's saying it's
Everyone's
this.
everyone's seen that picture, hopefully, of the the city lights beaming up at the thing, and there were. I mean, this is during World War II. There was this
Yeah.
huge, some sort of aircraft that was above L.A. A
Mm-hmm.
bunch of people, not a bunch, several people died, and it wasn't due to the UFO shooting stuff. It was us trying to shoot the UFO, and
Shells.
then and then our the things that we shot come down and kill people.
Yeah, artillery shells exactly fell. We must have. I forgot. It went on for an hour. We were shooting
It was like,
stuff at it for an hour, and nothing happened to it.
yeah. excuse, excuse me. Sorry.
Bless you.
Yeah, it was a. I mean, it was a big deal. Everyone thought it was Japan invading us, but it
Oh yeah,
wasn't. It was just some unknown craft up in the sky that's never been explained.
yeah. But they're saying here it's the one that we had was probably the Cape Girardeau crash of 1941, and came to realize the wealth of technology that lay there for the pickings. Apparently, the Special Committee on Non-Terrestrial Science and Technology had been working some time in order to define a clear action. Dr. Bush, there he is again, had presumably presented a proposal from the committee for an aggressive, separate program to apply non-terrestrial know-how to the war effort, but FDR thought it would threaten the atomic bomb program. Thus, he carefully avoids saying no, but says that we will take every advantage of such wonders that come to us after we have won the war. I mean, there it is again. I mean, is that like a gift? FDR saying this, take every advantage of such wonders that have come to us.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a really good question. It very well could be.
Especially if they're intact.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
they say here the signature, although not a strong discriminant, is consistent with other authentic signatures.
I mean, what a see. This is what I think a lot of people why they have doubts when it comes to the UFO thing, because here we are in World War II, right? And then having something crash down or given to us during that time is suspect, right?
Well,
Coming from a skeptic perspective.
unless all wars are like not NHI wars, and one faction was with the Nazis and the other faction was trying to help us,
Yeah,
you know. But that's really far fetched for a lot of people.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean, it's unfortunately this is all we have. There are some stuff now that are showing up in the archives. If you remember, we've discussed some of them that have the IPU on there, the interplanetary unit. That proved the authenticity of it, that there was one, but there's nothing from the government showing IPU.
hmm
The classification double secret was a legitimate one.
Now, my question is, who decides what's double secret, triple secret, single secret?
And
I
this is
just
44, so it's before the National Security Act. But basically, if you read the National Security Act, any government official can classify something for any reason they want.
as they can classify it as top secret.
Yeah, so
We
it just
should
shows you
classify
why.
this podcast as top secret.
Yeah, we
Wait,
probably have
no.
more. We'd have more
Let's
subscribers.
let's we'll classify this this episode in particular triple top secret.
Triple top secret. I like that one. Oppenheimer Einstein draft. This is a great document.
Yes,
Everyone should read it. It's we know who Oppenheimer is, right? The one who
I
led
have
the
become death, the
the
destroyer
Manhattan
of
Project.
worlds. Yeah.
So apparently, the White House asked them to write a paper on relationships with inhabitants of celestial bodies. So
It is the first
opening.
document to use the phrase extraterrestrial biological entities, or EBEs. EB. It says
EB.
it says the presence of unidentified spacecraft is accepted as de facto by the military. De facto, and this is dated
Sorry.
June 1947. It deals with keep scrolling. It deals with the subjects that you would expect competent scientists to deal with. Example: where do they come from? What does the law say about it? And what do we do in the event of colonization and/or the integration of peoples? And why are they here? The document suggests that in the event that EBEs desire to settle here on Earth, there will be profound change in traditional concepts of law and the possible need for a new law among planetary peoples. There's also propositions concerning the necessary creation of a cosmic international law that would protect the rights of all celestial states to lay claim on otherwise unclaimed solar territories.
Hmm.
Finally, the document addresses the presence of celestial astroplanes in our atmosphere as a result of actions of military experiments with fission and fusion devices of warfare. The authors of this document encourage consideration of our potential future situation and safety due to our present and past actions in space. How can we avoid a perilous fate?
Yeah.
Um, it just goes to show. I mean, these guys really took this seriously. This isn't
Yeah.
some weird, fringe weird people off to the side screaming with tinfoil hats on. I mean, these are some of the top scientists that our country had to offer, who are asking these kind of questions.
Yeah, and there it is. Respectfully, Dr. J. Robert Oppenheimer and Professor Albert Einstein.
This just makes me dislike the Oppenheimer movie even more.
Yeah, they should have had just some little thing, just like some hint of UFOs there.
Yeah.
You know, Oppenheimer knew so much. Um, and Edward Teller was the one who hired Bob Lazar.
Hmm.
Yeah, which is
Very
interesting.
interesting.
So, who wrote this? Myself and Marshall have read this, and I must admit there is some logic, but I think the president will consider it for the obvious reasons. I understand Oppenheimer approached Marshall while they attended ceremony at, it's not clear. As I understand it, Marshall rebuffed the idea of Oppenheimer discussing this with the president. I talked to Gordon and he agreed. Yeah, crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all right, next. Is this an important one? One
General
page.
Eisenhower memo to Colonel K.W. Ireland. Do you want to read this one?
Yeah, 30th June 1947. In this one-page unclassified memo dated 30th June 1947, Eisenhower orders Colonel Ireland to take good care of Archbishop Francis Spellman. Actually, they found this now too in newspapers on his tour through New Mexico. What seems unusual is President Truman's personal involvement in this matter. The memo states, quote, by personal direction of the President of the United States, Archbishop Francis Spellman, in his capacity as military vicar of the armed forces of the Army forces, and the Navy, is making a tour of military bases in New Mexico. Afterwards, this is when? 30th June, so like a week before Roswell. Afterwards is making a trip over the routes of the Air Transport Command. It is strange that this is a classified trip, as evidenced by the following statement. Quote, General Webster has assured me that the Archbishop will have complete security at all times, and his presence at any airfield will not be disclosed, as his flight schedule is considered classified by order of ACAS General Vandenberg. So there's the Vatican again.
Yeah, they
Right?
love
Isn't
to.
that Archbishop?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Maybe they,
And I think a vicar is something religious. I honestly don't. I've heard the term, but I don't know what it means. Hold on.
yeah. Is he like a military pastor or something like that?
What is a vicar?
Vicar.
In the Roman Catholic Church, nope.
Oh,
A vicar is representative, deputy, or substitute, anyone acting in the person of, so in person of the Pope, as essentially, or agent for a superior.
okay.
Oh, it's like a vice or a deputy, like
All right.
vice
So someone
president.
high up.
Yeah. It also refers to a senior priest in the Church of England.
Oh,
Huh.
Really.
Interesting.
Our grandfather was Church of England, which was
Really?
surprising. From yeah, surprising, huh?
Mm-hmm. Very much.
All right. So, interplanetary phenomenon unit field order. This is July 4th of July, 1947. This one-page order directs the officer in charge, OIC, to take a counterintelligence team to the UFO crash site and report to the G2 intelligence at Condron Field, New Mexico, which of course is Roswell.
Yeah.
OIC take along a non-commissioned OIC, an aeronautical engineer, a scientist, a security officer, and a medical doctor, and to provide a report by 28th of July. That's,
Wow.
that's this document. Oof.
Another rough one.
Top secret.
Double top
Personnel
secret.
list. Yeah, that's all it is.
Hmm.
To meet directly, to make any see current G2 to report estimate of situation. We know that there's that document in the Air
Yeah.
Force document.
Wow.
All right, this is it. By the way, Vannevar Bush letter to President Truman. I think that's the MJ-12 one. He lists. Here it is. You want to read
On
that one?
July 5th, 1947, possibly as a result of the New Mexico events, Vannevar Bush writes a memo to Truman recapping the status of earlier investigations. As an apparent follow up by FDR to Bush, FDR wrote another letter, which we don't have, in April 1944, requesting recommendations on 4 specific points. This letter is Bush's answer. It is presumed that the top secret / eyes only operation MJ-12 classification was added at a later date. The letter also shows an OK and a Harry Truman signature. The letter is stamped with the known authentic original stamp and was probably produced by a typewriter because of the uniformity of letter spacing. We expect to show, of course, that this format was commonly used by OSRD typewriters of the era. Bush restates the FDR questions for Truman's benefit, mentions the assistance of distinguished committees, alludes to the many meetings since the events of this summer, transmits the full reports as appendices, and proposes a single mechanism for the implementing the recommendations of the several committees. Could this be one hugely classified program called MJ-12 at the end of summer? The date of the letter, the 5th of July, was, of course, coincident with the recoveries going on in New Mexico at that very time. Harry S. Truman's OK may have been prophetic. Prophecy.
Wow. Let's check out this one. So this is letter of transmittal, dear President Roosevelt. So how come Truman was on there? I guess Roosevelt was out by then, right? Oh, wait, he died in office, didn't he?
I I don't know. Not a big history.
I think he did. That's how Truman came in.
Hmm.
Oh fuck.
All I know is that Harry S. Truman, his middle name literally was the letter S. Harry S. Truman. That's not a.
That's so dorky.
That's not a. It's not
not
short.
A name.
It's not short for anything. His middle name was the letter S.
So why is this prophetic? The OK. Here's Truman, Vannevar Bush, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that one. We're getting closer. See, I mean, we understand the secrecy, and it's all because of war. They want to be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the excuse they give anyway.
So this is on 8th of July, a few days after Roswell. Directive to General Twining by Eisenhower. On the 8th of July, Eisenhower got around to signing the authorization for General Nathan Twining, the head of the Air Materiel Command, to go to White Sands to, quote, make an appraisal of the reported unidentified object being kept there. With a team of experts, technicians, scientists, and assistants, Twining was directed to not only appraise the unidentified object, but also to deal with the military, political, and psychological situations surrounding its existence in New Mexico.
Gee whiz.
So, wow, Eisenhower wrote that. Did they retype this down here? No, they didn't. I can't read that. You'll proceed to the White Sands Proving Grounds Command Center
Center
without
without
delay for the
delay.
purpose, of making an appraisal of the of reported unidentified objects being
Being
kept
kept
there.
there. Part of your mission.
Their will, the military, political, and psychological. Yeah. Well, I guess the summary had most of that.
Yeah. Very it's just it's so I mean, it's not bizarre to me, but it is bizarre that I mean, this is the whole UFO thing has been going on for such a long time,
Yeah.
that even presidents were writing memos about it. And even
Right.
so, if the UFOs don't exist like they say, what's the harm in letting the public know what the hell happened in 1947? You know what I mean?
Exactly. And the UAP Disclosure Act, Roswell is included in there because it said anything older than 25 years has to be disclosed. But they're probably just going to destroy all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
It gives them time. Give them a full year, and I think, what is it, in October?
Hmm.
The time will be up, something like that.
It's so dumb too because honestly, I'm such a pessimist. If they released any and all documents they have regarding the UFO thing, like I'd say 75% of people would just, oh, I don't care. Yeah, there's UFOs.
Oh yeah, I
Who
always
cares?
knew that.
Yeah.
Right? Who cares?
And
And
then, they go on with their day, but they're like so terrified of this getting out. It's stupid.
so stupid. It's because, I mean, the reason why we see presidents involved in the beginning is because our government wasn't taken over by the intelligence community. I mean, the National Security Act basically made this an intelligence thing and just clamped down on all communications. And the cover up is that old, since the 40s.
Yeah.
So this is a directive to General Twining. Did we just read this by General?
I
Oh
don't
no,
think,
this
I
is
think we read the
by
one
President
before.
Truman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is Truman. On the 9th of July, Harry S. Truman signed a virtually identical letter authorizing Twining to revisit White Sands to make another appraisal of the object being kept. Oh, this is the one I think you just read, right? It was desired that he proceeded with detachment from any opinions or feelings expressed by personnel involved which do not conform to sound reasoning with regard to possible outcome. Someone apparently thought it was someone apparently thought it was so important that the commander in chief put his name on the spot without passing the buck. Alternatively, like himself, may have requested a backup memo. Oh, Ike, not like.
Ike, yeah.
Alternatively, Ike himself
Ike.
may have requested a backup memo.
And then after that is an air accident report by Twining to headquarters. This looks like a bad copy. Um,
No, go ahead. I'm
okay, so this three-page bureaucratic report provides the first glimpses of Lieutenant General Nathan Twining's air accident report, originally published in Leonard Stringfield's now deceased Status Report 7 in 1994. Twining apparently describes in first order detail the inside of a flying disc, everything from the typewriter like keys that control the propulsion system to a 35-foot donut shaped 1-inch tube inside the craft filled with a clear substance and a coil of copper like material. Twining, engineers from Engineering Division T3, scientific personnel from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and other educated experts report that the object was not manufactured by the US, Germany, or Russia for a variety of reasons, including lack of any known design resemblance, lack of external propulsion system and power plant, and the lack of identifying markings and or numbers. The experts theorized about how the craft is powered, how it moves, and how and where it is controlled from, but there's no real knowledge beyond the theories. The inability for the experts to prove the object to be made in any of the advanced technological societies on Earth is intriguing and thought provoking. The significance and consistency of the technical content has not been evaluated, although it is clear that the writing is consistent with 1947 state of the art, not modern. So if we click on that, oh yeah, look at this.
yeah, that's rough.
Well,
Wow.
yeah, we can see some of that,
Hmm.
but still.
What's it say on the left? TS priority A, 01,
Top
02.
secret. Yeah, top secret.
Mm.
Priority 1A.
Oh, it's not double top secret.
This activation of a electrical potential is believed to be the primary power to the reaction. See, it's always been electrical power, and they've
Yep.
kept it from us.
Yep.
It's all about nuclear or gravity. Look, underneath the power plant was discovered a ball
Alter,
turret. Ball turret,
approximately
approximately
10
18
feet in
diameter.
diameter, this turret was encompassed by a series of gears that has an unusual ratio, not
Yeah.
known by any of our engineers. On the underside of the turret were four circular cavities created with some smooth material not identified. These cavities are symmetrical but seem to be movable. Very
Hmm.
interesting. Just how is not known. The movement of the turret.
So it
Uh,
coincides? No.
yeah, I was gonna say coincides, but that doesn't fit.
Right.
Um, Coincides with the dome-shaped cap.
Copula.
Huh?
Copula?
What is a copula?
I don't know.
Copula compartment above the power room. It is believed that the main propulsion system is a bladeless turbine, similar to current development now underway as
Oh,
AMC and the Mogul project.
okay.
We know Project Mogul,
Yeah.
right? We've talked
Project
about
Mogul's the. I thought that was they were dropping like, or it was. Oh no, it was the weather balloons.
Yeah, no, that's. I was going to say, I thought that's what Project Mogul
Yeah,
was. A possible theory was devised by Dr. Oh boy.
August or Angus
It's not, there's not, that's not a T. Is it? Angers
Steinhoff,
Steinhoff, a paperclip scientist. We know about Project Paperclip. Dr. Warren, Ward.
Werner von Braun.
Oh, Vernon Warren Brown. Yeah,
Yeah,
good call. And Dr. Theodore von Kermy.
Carmat.
I don't know. As the craft moves through the air, it somehow
Oh,
drains the oxygen from the atmosphere, and by a indot,
mm.
in
Induction process
induction process generates a atomic function
fusion.
reaction. The air outside the craft would be, what does that say? Incised,
Ionized.
ionized. They're propelling. Uh, that doesn't make
The craft.
anyway. It propels the
Yeah,
craft forward, coupled with the circular foil
airfoil.
foil
Foil. Yeah,
foil floor lift. The craft would presumably uh,
have.
have an unlimited range and airspeed. This may account for the reported absence of any noise and the apparent blue flame often associated with rapid acceleration. I mean, despite how hard that paragraph was to read, that is a very interesting. What was the rating
Yeah,
on? What was the rating on this document? I think it
this
said
one
mid.
was. It was high.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Very cool.
yeah. What a document! My God.
Yeah,
That
seriously. I mean, that's a lot of. There's a lot of information there.
metallurgical lab personnel.
Ay caramba.
Interesting list of metallurgical lab personnel as of July 17, 1947, that may have been unwittingly involved in analyzing and reverse engineering crash wreckage.
Huh.
Oh, look at this one. Lieutenant General Nathan Twining to Curtis LeMay, meteorological R&D memo. You want this one?
This two-page memo, 18th of July, 1947. This two-page memo from Lieutenant General Nathan
Twining.
uh, Twining to Curtis LeMay activates a new laboratory to conduct meteorology.
Meteorological.
Thank you. Research and development and upper air research with the electronics subdivision of the engineering division of the AMC. It states in part, in view of the close relationship and interdependence of research in meteorology and research in electromagnetic compressional wave propagation,
Interesting.
action is taken to reorganize the present applied propagation laboratory of Watson Laboratories in the Atmospheric Laboratory and expands its function to include research and development, and meteorology and related geophysical fields. Wow. Later, the memo goes on to state that funds requested for FY 1949 Project 680 11, Atmospheric Research and Applied Scientific Research of the Upper Atmosphere, a total sum of $6 million, has been specified.
Yeah.
What a huge sum of money in 1949 to study the upper atmosphere. A more logical interpretation is that we are analyzing flying saucers, their technology, why they are here, and what we are going to do about it.
We're just gonna steal it. That's what we're gonna
Yeah,
do
of
about
course.
it. Who cares talking to him?
The elites get to use it, and in 50 to 100 years, the general public will get to use it.
Right. And now they want to push another 100 years. Another 100 years they want to push this.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Counterintelligence Corps Interplanetary Phenomenon Unit Report, 22nd July 1947. This 7-page document by the IPU begins by saying, quote, the extraordinary recovery of fallen airborne objects in the state of New Mexico between 4th of July and 6th of July 1947. That's the subject. And it goes on to state what the coordinates are and other fascinating details of the recovery operations and discoveries. Really? I want to go there.
Yeah, me too.
The most interesting being the discovery and basic detailed appearance of several bodies that were taken to the hospital at Roswell Air Force and other nearby hospitals listed but not disclosed for security reasons. The conclusion arrived at by the team of experts was unclear because of the limitations of contemporary science and appropriate budgets for future investigation, but leans to the possibility of a very well orchestrated hoax by U.S. societal outsiders, or that our country has played host to beings from another planet.
Wow.
Counter intel. So that's why they have that.
Mm-hmm.
And who's this? CWO Marco?
Marco. Is that French?
Yeah,
Macron.
yeah. Macron.
There it
Memo
is.
to the Commanding General Army Air Forces, 12th of August, 1947. I don't know. Wait, if I click here, because I don't even know what that like who that is. What's CWO? Oh, Strategic Air Command.
Yeah, there we go.
Confidential. Can't really. A representative of the AGAS-2 8th Air Force during a recent visit to this headquarters requested comments as to the feasibility of establishing a central control for all restricted data on files in that headquarters. Such procedure appears contrary to the spirit of AAF letter, which we don't know what it is.
Oh, God.
Comments are requested to use as a basis to reply to the 8th Air Force.
Huh.
So basically, they want to lock down all documents.
Sounds like it.
We'll just stay here. Oh, restricted data. Okay. Flying saucer analytical report.
Yeah, 2nd of September, 1947. This 2-page top secret magic eyes only report to General C.P. Cabell,
Yeah, probably.
And Commanding General of the Air Material Command from Research and Development Laboratory is dated 2nd September 1947. It provides a credible glimpse into the problems that faced the first analytical team to examine real crashed extraterrestrial hardware. Here are some quotes. Some nation has reached a stage of flight development in which present ideas are entirely obsolete, and the absence of riveting and surface overlapping indicates a simplistic concept that confronts our technology to match the careful and well-considered compromises in respect to weight, aerodynamic refinement, and design. A general description of the flying saucer craft is presented, including a host of historically accurate ASI and metallurgical tests. The research team did have success in identifying some control surfaces and exhaust ports, and concluded the spherical reactor, hydrogen isotope type, was connected to propulsion rotors,
Interesting.
motors. So this is really interesting. We've talked about it a lot. Actually, you've brought it up many times on the show. Is that a true UFO, like coming from something that's not of the human race? There's no seams like in the craft. There's
Yeah,
no, you can't see where it's been put together.
it's like one mold,
Yeah, it's almost like it was birthed that way.
right? Or like their consciousness put it together or something. That
Yeah,
they're able to do that somehow, like just like think it into existence, kind of thing.
yeah, exactly.
So a general description of the craft is presented. One, metallic skin of a high polished finish. A comparison of ASI, I don't know what that is, steels indicates that the metals used to construct the craft exceed structure, chemical composition, and mechanical properties currently under development. It's like they're always just a little bit ahead, right? It seems. Craft designed for high altitude flight, automatic exhaust orifices were identified. A gyro controlled wing stabilizer apparently maintains craft in a hover mode. And power plant may consist of a spherical reactor, hydrogen isotope type, he said, that connected to propulsion motors. 100 feet in diameter with central section, approximately 30 feet central cabin, may have 3 flight decks. Top level for flight control, central section for equipment, and lower section for power plant and landing gear. Circular wing may have rotating section and adjustable leading edge.
Very interesting. Top
Yeah.
dome may have the ability to recede into central section for high performance operations. Wow. I mean, it, it's
Oh,
clear that the government has had so much experience with these that they can actually speculate as to what each part of the craft does. What does that say? Flight
yeah.
instruments and controls are activated by optical waveguide fibers, similar to glass rods, except they are flexible and have a plastic
Fiber optics.
yeah, have a plastic cladding wrap. I don't know
What?
what that means. What the hell is a plastic cladding wrap?
Me neither. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Does it mean the ends of them are have plastic on them, or they're wrapped with plastic? I mean,
I don't know. I don't know.
all functions may be operated by touch, sensitive, or texture sensing stimuli. Instruments are covered by a plastic plate and seem to be color coded.
Huh.
Crazy, because it's like it's like us. It's like projecting us in the future.
Yeah. Wow.
And yeah, I mean, DARPA is the one supposedly that came up with fiber optics, and I think all these things go through DARPA, and then DARPA just commercializes it for war, of course,
Yeah, of course.
not to free us or make a better society.
No. What are you crazy?
This is the first CIA guy, right? Helen Cotter,
I don't know if he's the first, but one of the first.
one of the first, yeah.
Yeah, one of the first named.
So Helen Cotter memo to Joint Intelligence Committee (JIC). The title of this document is Memorandum for the Military Assessment of the Joint Intelligence Committee. And for those of you paying special attention, you'll notice that acronym is MAGIC, MIJIC, which in fact turned out to be the code word selected. The 4 paragraphs say we need a classified intelligence project. We recovered 1 craft, captured 1. It says no coordinated scientific examination is possible until we get a clear directive from the president. It also says Wright Field has a new biological laboratory, the Joint Research and Development Board, and the FBI, MI5, MI6 are helping.
Yowza.
September 1947.
Wait, no, hold on, really
Oh,
quick. Just to wrap, just to put a bow on that last part. Um, I mean, this is what people are talking about when they talk about shadow government.
yes.
The FBI, MI5, MI6. I mean, this is This is a worldwide thing. That all these people work on together.
Exactly. In the shadows.
Yeah,
Secret. Double top secret.
yeah. Double top
So,
secret. I can't get enough of
so here's that memo. Central Intelligence Group, Washington.
that. Examination of. Never mind. I don't. Do you want to read that or?
No, because we got. I just want to see how bad it looked. It's
Yeah,
we did the
it's not
summary.
that one's not terrible.
No, Twining's white hot report. Oh, look at that. It's got a full score. This is the one that Dolan brings up a lot.
His report: mission assessment of recovered lenticular aerodyne objects. Don't know what either one of those word means. Lenticular or aerodyne. I'm assuming that means flying. Lenticular, it goes in lines.
Lenticular, yeah. Let's see if I click this. No, if I do that, usually I can. Lenticular, shaped like a lentil, especially by being biconvex.
No, that's a tic tac, right? What's a lentil look like?
Relating to the lens of the eye.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, so like concave.
Isn't a lentil? Shit, I'm gonna have to look this up. What does a lentil look like? Google.
Quote, no one without express permission from the president may disseminate the information contained in this report or communicate it to any unauthorized person not possessing magic security clearance. The White Hot Report is a 19-page document dated 19 September 1947 and signed by an appropriate cadre of military leaders on 24 September 1947. Several accounts of individual pilots were reported in 1947 with varying details that make each encounter a unique puzzle and unique piece in a puzzle of phenomenon. In this particular year, sightings were reported not only in the United States, but also in Sweden, Germany, Holland, Paraguay, Scandinavia, Greece, and by ships at sea. Studied by classified teams of experts, many interesting and provocative details were recorded in this report of unidentified crash remains. The document is broken down into various sections that address concerns, specifically preliminary intelligence estimate, technical evaluation, scientific probabilities, political considerations, and national security structure. In the preliminary estimate, experts of the AMC and ONR speculate that the unidentified lenticular-shaped aerodyne-lacking conventional wing, fuselage, nacelle, control, and fuel systems is not only foreign to the United States technology, but is also unlikely to be of Russian origin, or for that matter, unlikely to have been designed to operate within the Earth's atmosphere. Several bodies were discovered along with the material of the crash, their existence and death just as mysterious as the cause of the crash itself. More interesting than these basic facts is the evidence that suggests, quote, a symbiotic relationship between operator and the functions of the aerodyne's operation. This particular leaked governmental document has a plethora of factual information linked to the retrieval and appraisal of the evidence collected from the recovered exhibits that, quote, AMC, ASP, NEEP, ACE, RAND, U.S. Air Force, and MIT are deemed extraterrestrial in nature. The White Hot Report not only covers the factual evidence of the retrieval, but also sheds light on a number of conceptual concerns surrounding politics, national security, nuclear weaponry, and the reasons behind keeping knowledge of this nature out of the public's grasp indefinitely. It concludes, for the well-being of the public, of course, and the protection of national security, that the U.S. must be perceived as being the top of the heap, and every effort must be made to ensure that there is and never has been a threat to the country.
Wow. So, by the way, lenticular just means UFO shaped, essentially.
Oh, okay.
Like shape of a lentil, which is like a circle.
Look at all these signatories.
Yeah.
Truman's there. So it's a long document.
John Hancock on there.
And here is the MJ-12 guys. So captain, major, and then you have von Karman, Oppenheimer. He was MJ-12. Professor Albert Einstein. He was MJ-12 too. Doolittle, another scientist. So basically, 1, 2, 3, 4 scientists, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh,
there's way more than 12.
Yeah.
I wonder where the 12 came from. Maybe that's why they changed the name.
No, there is a document that shows who's going to be them. So it's a good one to read.
Yeah.
Technical evaluation of all of them.
I don't
Look how they crossed out Magic Eyes only.
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't like all the censored stuff.
Yeah, it's still censored.
Yeah, you think an internal government document wouldn't be censored?
Yeah. So does this tell us how it got to them? No.
Oh, they did give a warning about how it might be take
Oh,
long
that's
to
because
download.
yeah, we don't have that problem anymore. I think that was dial-up times.
Yeah.
Malcolm Grow.
Malcolm Grow to Lieutenant General Twining, Aero Medical Laboratory, 20th of September, 1947. Brigadier General Malcolm C. Grow writes a 2-page memo for General Twining describing the preliminary results of the post-mortem examination of the air accident report filed the 17th of July. See
Yeah.
above. We talked about that.
Mhm.
Note the wide-ranging distribution list from people like Dr. Detlef Bronk. What a great name, Detlef Bronk.
That lived wrong.
And Dr. Randolph Lovelace to the AAF Scientific Advisory Group and Intelligence Departments. This perfunctory preliminary report is clear in its references to a UFO. In quotes, collision in full flight with object other than conventional aircraft. Aircrafts collected and assembled indicate that the unidentified aircraft. All right, quote from the document. The functions of the instruments found in the cockpit area are unknown at present, so there is no way to determine if the craft was manned or remotely controlled. So this document has a lot of references to some sort of craft that they found
Yeah.
that they can't explain.
And this is Lieutenant Colonel. It has high relevance. Colonel Tucker memo to Office Air Surgeons, 22nd September 1947. A busy year, and it's probably the best documents we have since this is before the
Yeah.
National Security Act. So this is a bureaucratic memo with excellent checkable references, discusses an analysis of factors contributing to pilot error experiences in operational experimental aircraft controls, written by Lieutenant Colonel Tucker. Tucker and his correct period phone extension, memo format, and writing style have been verified in the National Archives. Tucker was part of the Aero Medical Laboratory Psychological Branch. It discusses 2 incidents on 25th of March and 4th of July 1947 about S-craft, PF, and interactions with symbolic instrumentation with tactile manipulation of flight controls. See, it just sounds like our stuff in the future. I mean,
Yeah, I was thinking about that on the last document that we summarized. Tactile. So that means um, you stick your fingers in it and you make it go.
right, yeah. And they said it was like touchscreen, right?
Yeah, you've got your PlayStation controller with a little flip up screen.
So nuts. I mean, they must have thought these things were just marvelous.
Yeah.
All right, going back. Secretary of State Marshall memo.
So this is a memo to the president, the 24th of September, 1947. This is medium high or high medium, whatever.
Yeah.
Marshall writes a memo to the president concerning the presentation of report to the president, R.E. ULAT, ULAT, dated September 24, 1947, that expresses concern about the timing of the internal release of this report. It would be better to discuss the report during the meeting of the National Security Council. This would give the members a better picture of the situation rather than having it released piecemeal. Marshall goes on to say, I further suggest that Twining presents the findings of the MJ-12 briefing to be given to the Director of Central Intelligence with a detailed showing of visual as well as written materials. File references, format, and signatures suggest authenticity.
So here comes the CIA. So September 1947. Yep. Suggestion approved. Thanks, Truman.
Hell yeah.
Oh man.
Not a huge memo. Let's see.
No.
In regards to our recent conversation on this matter and our understanding that the release of this report would be best done prior to the scheduled
Nice.
National Security Council meeting, I suggest that it would be better to discuss this report during the meeting. This would give the members a better picture of the situation rather than having it released in piecemeal. Oh God, this next. I
What? No.
What does that say?
I don't know. Something suggests.
I something
Further.
suggest,
I
huh?
further
I
suggest.
further
Further.
There you go. I
Yeah.
further suggest that Twining present the findings that is not any
No.
way readable
No.
briefing to be given by the director of the Central
Central
Intelligence with a detailed viewing of visual as well as written materials. I mean, this just sums up what we just read.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I think here they blocked out MJ-12 because
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
present the findings of the MJ Majestic 12 briefings.
Yeah.
And what's this? Forrestal. We know they sent him to the loony bin.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 days later, President Truman, in that busy week of the 24th of September, 1947, decided that he would sign this document, which says, quote, hereafter this matter shall be referred to only as Operation Majestic 12. Unfortunately, researcher Stanton Friedman found another memo with a nearly identical signature in the same week, signed by Truman to Dr. Bush. How can that be? See the authentication section for a possible answer. Good question. If it's identical, it kind of proves it's a hoax.
Right.
Right? And then
memo to General Spatz, 25th of September, 1947, with Cantwheel comments, retyped copy. This one-page unclassified memo dated the 25th of September, 1947, is directed to General Spatz. It voices concern about the quality of the briefing given that day and wants the presentation package improved for the National Security Council meeting the following day. Cantwheel's comments typed in capital letters at the bottom sum up the sentiment. Quote, the Secretary of Defense was unhappy with briefing of the AMC and RND. Briefing officers and Symington wanted Bush and Twining to meet with Truman before NSC meeting on the 26th so that a more concise and explainable report of the discovery would be made, end quote.
They probably didn't like those alien.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Exactly.
bet you anything. And this is medium they're giving it. And this is medium.
Do you want to... We'll move past it. That's fine.
Yeah, what do you think? Okay, it was signed. This memo was signed top secret, Magic Eyes only.
It says that cryptographic misspelled in original. That's probably why it's ranked so low. Security does not apply, thereby revealing that this subject would normally be encrypted, but to expedite it, they did not. Yeah, I think just based on that first sentence, it's probably not part of this.
Twining's report to the president, parts 1 to 5. So this one's also giving a medium. They'll tell us why. General Nathan Twining writes to the president on 26 September 1947 and respectfully submits his report on flying saucers. This is, quote, in accordance with your instructions, advisors from State, Treasury, War, and Navy departments assisted me in a 2-month exploratory mission concerning the reality of other world visitations. The memo is so impressive for its authentic-looking Pentagon Joint Chiefs of Staff and Combined Chiefs of Staff filing references, along with clear, older-size paper markings. All right, so maybe they're just being careful when they say medium.
Yeah, maybe.
Right? And it doesn't look that great. Oh, it's terrible.
Oh, yeah, that's rough. I don't know how they got any information off that.
Me neither. I mean, now with AI, you probably can. It'll just fill in the gaps.
Yeah, AI is scary. Really scary.
This one is medium high. And it looks like it's burned.
Huh.
Secretary of State George C. Marshall to Carl Hume sign.
Yeah.
Humble sign.
Good luck with that one.
Oh no. On September 27th, September 27, 1947, George C. Marshall writes to his executive secretary, Carl Humelstein, about the tragic consequences if the present rumors about New Mexico events are disclosed to the public. Humelstein is resistant to sign an agreement to remain quiet concerning these events because he has already heard about them through other sources. The memo states in Part A, you are unwilling to commit yourself to any agreement regarding not communicating its contents to any other person in view of the fact that you felt you already knew certain of the things probably referred to in the memo, as suggested to you by seeing the security reference magic, and B, you could not feel that such a letter as this could have been addressed to you without the knowledge of the president. This Ozalid early carbon duplication printing process memo is authentic for the era and would be difficult to fake.
Hmm.
Let's take a look at this one. Whoa!
Oh, jeez. Instead of white on black, it's black on white.
Yeah. Oh, because it's like you said, it's a carbon. Like those carbon things. If you write something, then yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yikes.
Yeah, we're not gonna. I guess the summary would have to do.
Yeah. So the next one, unidentified aircraft sightings over the U.S. Top secret eyes only intelligence estimate 30th of September 1947. This one is also medium.
Yeah, medium.
Feel like I'm collecting Pokemon cards here. This presidential briefing document is an intelligence estimate dated September 30th, 1947, titled Unidentified Aircraft Sightings Over the United States, prepared by the Special Studies and Evaluation State War Navy Coordinating Committee in the Office of National Estimates, CIA. It references both a TS control number 7300405 NSA authority and a NSCID National Security Council Intelligence Directive 6 authority NIA directive. That's the 6-page top secret eyes only covers let me start over. The 6-page top secret eyes only covers essential elements of information. However, no discussion of wreckage, alien bodies, etc. After all, the briefing is about unidentified aircraft sightings. Main headings are estimates of Soviet capabilities, domestic capabilities, estimate of the situation, estimates of interplanetary capabilities, and conclusions. The estimate of the situation and interplanetary capabilities make for very interesting reading. I don't think I have to read that last part.
Yeah, you want to check this one out?
Yeah, let's check it out.
Do not retain for files. Destroy. Destroy after reading.
Yikes. Yeah, I don't know if I buy this one.
Warning.
What does that say? What's the handwriting say? This is the last revision available.
This is the best.
Oh, best revision.
Yeah.
Version. Man, these guys clearly didn't have to learn how to write cursive in school.
That's terrible handwriting. So yeah, they go through things: Soviet capabilities, domestic capabilities.
I mean, this doesn't. Yeah, the reason why I think people would think this is legit, and now I'm kind of going that way as well, is of course our government is looking at, well, who could do this? Could the Chinese do this? Could the Russians do this?
Right.
Oh, sorry, could the Soviets do this? Could someone in our own government do this? I mean, that's totally, I buy that.
Estimates of interplanetary capabilities. The best intelligence we have on the capabilities of a presumed interplanetary power possibly behind unidentified aircraft is at best rudimentary and lacks specific information deemed useful for presenting a complete picture of intent and weapons capability. What we do know is enumerated below based on everything collected by our intelligence. 1. They appear to be circular or wing-shaped aircraft with light reflecting surfaces. They can achieve tremendous bursts of speeds and are very maneuverable and can outfly anything we have in the air. Sound familiar?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They appear as large as man-made aircraft compared with our largest bomber. They can appear to stall in midair and accelerate to supersonic speeds in an instant. Some reports state that they are solid objects that create holes in cloud formations and produce loud roars when accelerating. Some reports state that they seem to vanish into thin air and reappear instantly. Yeah, we've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
They may be piloted aircraft or remote controlled. Some reports indicate that the objects are associated with brilliant fireballs that enter our atmosphere and seemingly explode, leaving no trace material. Oh, I saw one the other night. I was looking at a
Oh
plane.
yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at a plane and I was like, "Whoa, that's really bright." And then because I mean, a shooting star. First of all, a shooting star like changes color to green or something, and then
Yeah,
like
it burns up in the
you see
atmosphere.
it get burnt out and it goes right. But then I saw just a white one come from the sky on the right, and then it just dropped, but nothing happened after that. Like it didn't look like it was burning. Um,
Well, like I always say, keep an eye out for any tuxedoed men sitting outside your where you live.
man, I think they would have kidnapped us a long time ago
Right?
with the stuff we cover. Um, where was I? They appear evasive when approached by aircraft. No radio contact has been made with the objects. Ground observers have been able to track by radar and by optical means groups and formations numbering between 3 to 12 at a time. Some civilian and military pilots have reported instruments and engine failure when approaching too close to these objects. Their appearance over military and civilian defense installations may fall into reconnaissance pattern, but is not recognizable at this time. There is speculation that some form of nuclear propulsion may be evident in some of the reported sightings, though the prevailing opinion suggests that these objects are propelled by a solid rocket motor or gas propellant. Huh? That doesn't make him very advanced,
No.
does it?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Conventional aerial reconnaissance. So that's why they probably thought it was Russian too.
Yeah, those darn Ruskies are at it again.
Yeah, and who knows if they have really advanced stuff that they haven't, shown yet.
I doubt it.
Yeah, because Ukraine would have been over unless they both
I was
like
just about to bring that up. Yeah.
the prophet, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, so General Vandenberg to Chief of Staff.
This memo from Vandenberg to the Army Chief of Staff does not clearly relate to UFOs. However, it is clear that the decision process at White Sands and Alamogordo was in turmoil and that clarification was needed, possibly as a result of the UFO wreckage being stored there and different access requests and priorities. The addition of Senor senior Army Ordnance Officer being permanently assigned to work with the Joint Committee for Range Coordination was a resolution to improve local decision making. What could be so important that would involve top generals and clarify decision making? The leaked version, page 1, is nearly identical to a document we found at the National Archives, page 2, showing the same language in paragraph 1, but an additional clarifying paragraph has been added, which states this agreement concerns only decisions on joint range problems and does not extend into command and administration matters at Alamogordo Air Base. It is possible that either Vandenberg or the Army Chief of Staff, upon seeing or reviewing the first memo, might say, we need to clarify this so that no one misconstrues our intents and screws up the basic functions of Alamogordo Air Base. Alamogordo is a fun name for a base.
Alamogordo. Yeah. Where is that? Alabama?
I, you know what? I'll Google it right now.
This looks burned. Another Helen Connor.
Alamogordo, New Mexico.
Oh, it is New Mexico. This guy is a medium one, Majestic 12 project. First annual report. Here it is. The one you were asking about.
The very first one.
Yeah, you said let's try and find that one first. I think it's this one. It says the cover page defines the members of panel of experts responsible for preparing the reports on Majestic. They had a very impressive panel. Bush, McDonald, Vandenberg, all these people you would have expected. The odd one is Major Luther D. Miller, Chief of Chaplains. Additionally, notice the collection directive number A1762.1J1. This file number also appears on other declassified documents that are related to UFOs. The absence of a date and the reference to CIA S12855 suggests the possibility of evidence of deliberate altering for some purpose, such as psychological warfare. Interesting. So they're saying it's real but altered. Yeah, see, it has magic right there.
Yeah, wow.
Majestic 12 project, director, deputy director. These are the people being.
Is there is there a reason why it's called Majestic that you've heard of?
No, well, what's it? We just read something that said Joint Intelligence Committee. So maybe it's majority Joint Intelligence Committee because JIC.
Yeah, JIC. Yeah, I get that.
So I don't know
Yeah,
what the
that makes
MA
sense.
might be. Maybe just majority that they're on top of JIC.
Yeah.
It's all hierarchies.
Yeah, shocker.
So yeah, here they are. Chairman Dr. Vannevar Bush, and they I forget, it might have been Nick Redfern. Someone got him on the phone before he died and confronted him about MJ-12. Yeah, and he said people don't have the right to know. He was being like very elitist about it. He's like, there's no reason, for us to tell anyone that's not in the know.
Yeah, weird. Weird our government feels that way.
And weird that he's chairman.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they want.
Very interesting.
Top secret Central Intelligence Information Report, this one. So they have those, especially this number here, said that they've seen it before in UFO documents. Whatever this is. Here comes the CIA. This is high. 1949.
Allegedly released by the CIA, but most likely released by the National Archives Records Administration due to the approved release stamp and valid lower right-hand corner control number. The challenge is finding the memo at NARA, National Archives Records Administration, to prove the document is either real or fake. It mentions CIA top secret MJ-12 as a file distribution. The memo subject is Project 63, which is a known program to import paperclip German scientists into the U.S. Hopefully, everyone knows what Operation Paperclip was. If not, just to sum it up, at the end of World War II, we brought in a bunch of the top Nazi scientists into the country to work for us.
Yep.
And that's not some weird conspiracy thing. That's proven fact.
Oh yeah, I mean, and we basically got rid of that they were Nazis, changed their files, brought them over here, thousands of them, put them into NASA, put them in the NSA.
I was just about to bring up NASA. I mean, NASA was basically built off the back of Nazis.
Exactly.
They had a swastika on the back of all of our satellites until the very last second, where someone had to come and scrape it off.
It's so ridiculous. I mean, it's obviously the same thing.
No, it wasn't just the U.S. It was a lot of people.
Yeah, they just grabbed it and said, let's use them.
Yep.
So here's that document, CIA. I guess where's the same magic? He said, bottom right. I don't see it. CIA. Oh, here it is. MJ-12.
Yeah.
CIA top secret MJ-12.
Wow.
Helen Cotter. He's that one that has that quote about UFOs. About what they are, Helen Cotter.
What's he say? Sorry, I'm not yawning at you. I was just yawning because I'm tired.
No, I know. This is the one you just read. I just opened it.
If they don't have 2 legs or 4 legs, we'll bomb them.
Hopefully, 2 legs or 4. So snakes are okay.
Snakes are fine. Don't have a problem with snakes.
White shot memo.
This top secret intelligence report that is suggestive of pre-flight PF aircraft of unidentified U.S. design, prepared for signature for both Watson and McCoy. It correctly follows the format of other intelligence reports. Very interesting.
Right. And this is CIA Office of Scientific Intelligence, 1950.
That one's medium.
Yep. Oh, this is a high one.
Communist propaganda charging U.S. with the use of... Oh, jeez. Sorry.
Nice one.
I know, right? Communist propaganda charging United States with the use of BW in Korea. What's BW?
I have no idea.
Big women. This 7-page secret document appears to be declassified in 1985 and released. It has similar release markings to the JOIA 1412 memo citing CIA top secret MJ-12 that the CIA cannot find through the FOIA process in 1999.
Of course not.
Of course not. This document discusses propaganda as it relates to the alleged use of biological weapons. Oh, that's what BW stands
Okay,
for.
yeah. Okay.
By the U.S. and Korea. The 13-point information report is rich with specifics and history of specifics and history. Of particular note is general sophistication of the propaganda and spin on both sides. This relates to the Majestic program only weakly, since we believe psychological warfare will, in the end, be only a minor component of UFO military document history. The CIA desk declassified this in 2000.
All right, so it's official.
Oh man, I miss Y2K. Those were good times.
And the hype was nuts, huh? And then just nothing happened.
Well, it wasn't my household. I was pretty young back then. I was what, 10?
Yeah.
10 years old or so.
1999.
Yeah.
End of 99, basically.
But I do remember like people freaking out about it.
Oh yeah. I was doing an internship at like a IT consulting firm. That's all it was about. Most of the projects were fixing people's databases so that Y2K doesn't happen. And people are, spending a lot of money on it. So it could have been just like a scam to get these companies to spend millions of dollars upgrading their systems.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, wasn't the whole thing like they were really concerned that computers couldn't roll over to zero?
Yeah, that
essentially like that was the
hard coded in. It was just 2 digits. So after 99, it would go back to 0 instead of like 2000.
But they were like, I still remember people were talking about like airplanes crashing, like gas wouldn't work, like all this other stuff.
Everything. Yeah, all of our systems wouldn't work anymore.
Either they did a great job of fixing everything before it happened, or it was just a whole lot of nothing.
It could have, because there was a lot of that activity.
Yeah,
of fixing stuff. But did they fix every single system? You know what I mean? Like not one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Know. Yeah, maybe we should look into that. Majestic 12 project, purpose and table of contents, summer 1952.
Question mark?
For the first time, we see the use of not for public inspection, restricted, and for official use only on a formerly top secret magic document. The table of contents appears to be standard content covered during the 1st to 5th annual reports because it perfectly aligns with the remaining report. And I guess that's what this is, annual report. Here, let's click on this one. Let's see what it says.
Not for public inspection. The aforementioned panel, under the direct presidential directive signed on 26 September 1947, has been tasked with the responsibility of providing answers to the most troublesome and disturbing phenomenon, that of otherworld visitation and what it portends.
Yeah.
Portends for the human family. Very weird wording. It is in this vein that the panel has addressed the problem and providing possible answers.
And there it is, top secret Majestic.
Yeah. I mean, again, I said this earlier, but the government took this stuff super seriously, obviously.
Yeah, and even if it's like what disinformation, the entire thing, that is just a crazy amount of work they're doing for disinformation about this. But we're at war with Russia. It could be to scare Russia, but it's not written that way because it's all these are written that they were trying to figure it out, not that we have it. And then this one is Majestic 12 Project Annual Report, Summer 1952.
This draft is not dated, but from dates mentioned in the documents, latest is May 1951, we believe that it was written in the summer of 1952 on the occasion of the 5th anniversary of the July 47 crashes. It contains the nature of the investigation, the panel's contribution to the top secret Majestic documents, A review of the military assessment and various problems in relation to technology, nuclear weapons development, biological warfare programs, genetic and pharmaceutical development programs,
Hmm.
new material development, planned future rocket development, nuclear propulsion development, intelligence gathering and analysis, foreign policy and national security, domestic and constitutional issues, social, religious, and scientific reaction, Cold War development, and a government policy of control and denial. Lots of
Of course.
sensational information is contained in the 17 pages of a single spaced, specific, checkable details. It will take several man years to validate every phrase and claim. The initial checks we have performed provide no clear indication of fakery at all. See the
Authentication.
authentication sections for a discussion of subtle issues here. Sometimes I just see a word and my brain just goes, nope.
I know exactly. Yeah.
Like I know
I
authentication, I know the word, but for
Right.
some reason because I got through that whole long list.
Well, the writing is not that good, so it just feels unnatural sometimes. I mean, I
Yeah.
get it. So this is that report, and the occupants of these planform
Landforms?
vehicles are,
Huh.
in most respects, human or human-like. Autopsies so far indicate that these beings share the same biological needs as humans.
Whoa, that's big time.
Yeah, so the biologics right there. So
And
this is them underlining stuff and circling stuff. There's IPU again.
uh-huh.
Post 1947 incident, New Mexico, Majestic, and SSP. SSNP?
SSNP.
Yeah.
Single shit and piss.
Utilization of paperclip specialized by scientists.
Hmm.
Look at that. Majestic 12 project.
There's so much great information. I highly recommend all of our listeners go because we're essentially summarizing all of this stuff. But go
Yeah.
ahead. I mean, do the best you can because some of these documents are hard to read. But go ahead these are all documents that the UFO community has uncovered, and for the most part, agreed that it's real. They're authenticated.
Exactly. Look at this one. They circle 5. Lack of wiring, fuel systems, cables, motors, hydraulics, intakes, exhausts, and surface controls strongly suggest that the craft was designed to travel outside of our atmosphere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The second craft that impacted at Site L3 provided very little evidence that it too was similar in design, as the impact was vertical in nature and at very high speed. It is believed
Whoa.
that the debris discovered on July 2nd, 1947, by a local rancher was the result of a mid-air collision with an X-plane from HAFB, Holloman Air Force Base.
Yeah, I was gonna say that has to be what that is.
Another identified object, or possibly collided with both. Radar film and tower logs do not explain the merging of 3 radar targets prior to collision and subsequent crashes. 5 recovered bodies.
Wow. 2 of which were found in a severely damaged escape cylinder. Oh, cool.
Ooh, yeah.
And the remaining 3 were found some distance away from the cylinder. All 5 appeared to have suffered from sudden decompression. That means they exploded. And heat suffocation. Recovery and autopsies of the occupants were covered in detail in a separate study, Gray Suit, within Project 612 and 621. What does that say?
I
Ulath?
don't know.
Ulath
ULAT? Yeah.
I think that's a city. Ulath Exploitation Majestic Series. It doesn't matter. That's just as a result of damage sustained from unknown causes. I mean, it was a UFO crash. They're talking about Roswell, people. Hopefully, you put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, this is definitely Roswell. And they circled 8. The panel was concerned over the contamination of several something personnel upon coming in contact with debris near the power plant. One technician was overcome or over something and collapsed when he attempted the removal of a body. Another medical technician went into a coma 4 hours after placing a body in a rubber body bag. All 4 were rushed to Los Alamos Los Alamos for observation. All four later died of seizures and profuse bleeding. All
Whoa.
four were wearing protective suits when they came in contact with the body fluids from the occupants.
Yikes.
That is weird. But yeah, if they're alien, makes sense.
Right. It totally makes sense.
Ooh, look at this one. Number 11. Detection of a high altitude explosion was recorded by a Project Mogul constant level balloon on 4th of July 1947. Radar from White Sands Proving Ground and Holloman Air Force Base also detected a surge. So they're saying it was a collision, but they're also saying there was an explosion. Oh, probably from the collision.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Weird how they would collide with an X plane.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how the hell that would happen.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like they do it on purpose.
I mean, they have this super advanced technology. Why the hell? How could they collide
Yeah,
with a human made craft?
it is weird. And then that's why the radar thing makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Something clearly went wrong.
Atomic engines for aircraft built here on Earth face many difficulties because of the size and weight of the reactor and radiation shields. So they were thinking about this in the early 50s.
Yeah, it's wild stuff.
Hypersonic small disturbance theory.
Hmm.
So I guess this is just going through a Majestic 12 because it's going date by date on June 15th, and then here's May 1948. Really detailed. And I think people have gone through these and then searched the newspapers to confirm.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
All right, so that was that annual report. Truman to Secretary of Defense, 1952, medium. Communications intelligence activities. In short, it establishes the NSA. So that was in 1952. What is
There we go.
interesting is that the same top secret control number, 7330405, is used on another question document of the same era, the Truman Presidential Briefing, discussing unidentified aircraft sightings over the United States.
Wow.
Ooh.
NXC fragment. This document appears to be. This is just medium credibility. This document appears to be one of the annual reports of Majestic, although the numbering does not correspond to the annual report. We can probably skip that one, right?
Okay, this one's really high though.
Yeah. Eisenhower briefing document. This national security information is classified top secret, not double top secret. After identifying the 12 Majestic members, it states that the Kenneth Arnold sighting had caused near hysteria. Noted that there was a secret recovery operation starting on the 7th of July, 1947. 4 dead bodies, wreckage moved to several locations. It showed Harry S. Truman's top secret memo as Appendix A on page 8, setting up the program. Stanford Freeman is a notable expert on this document. Some statements agree and some do not agree with the statements in other documents. This does not necessarily imply fakery because of the heavy compartmentalization of the facts.
Mm-hmm.
Implications for the national security are of continuing importance in that the motives and the ultimate intentions of those visitors remain completely unknown. Wow.
Unbelievable. I mean, this stuff is basically out.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't they just tell us this one? Yeah, this looks pretty legit.
Yeah.
Eyes only. People use that all the time in business. Here they
Yeah.
are. Operation Majestic 12 is a top secret research and development intelligence operation responsible directly and only to the President of the United States. Operations of the projects are carried out under control of the Majestic 12, Magic 12 group, which was established by special classified executive order of President Truman on 24 September 1947. Upon recommendation by Dr. Vannevar Bush and Secretary James Forrestal. See attachment A. Members of the MJ-12 group were designated as follows: Holland Cotter, Vannevar Bush, James Forrestal, Twining, Vandenberg, Bronk, Hunsaker,
Wow.
Mr. Sawyer, Mr. Gordon Gray, Mr. Donald Menzel, General Robert Montague, and Dr. Lloyd Berkner. Oh, so they have a vacancy. Look at that. The death of Secretary Forrestal created a vacancy which remained unfilled until 1st of August 1950, upon which date General Walter B. Smith was designated as a permanent replacement. And
Wow.
yeah, copy 1 of 1. So this goes through the craft of Roswell, the beings.
Huh. Isn't that something?
I know, right? And here's that letter by Truman. That
Are
basically
you
set it up.
are you on a different screen? Because
Oh, yes, I have been. I'm sorry. I was reading this one.
yeah, it's okay. I was like trying to follow along on the next thing, and couldn't figure it out. Anyway,
Yeah, so here they are. MJ-12 group were designated as follows.
hold on. I was going to count those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, there you go.
Top secret, magic eyes only.
Just and the thing that is crazy to me. I mean, it's not crazy. It's just honestly, it's not even that surprising. Is this group most likely still exists today? Obviously,
Yeah.
a different name. And you mentioned it up top. What'd you say? Orion?
Zodiac.
Zodiac. Yeah, I mean, so this kind of stuff is still going on. It's sad that we're having to look at documents that are 50, 60, 70 years old at this point.
Yeah, and so much of this information has come out over the years, and by now the majority of people interested in this subject, probably have seen all this stuff. So it's not going to surprise anyone. No, okay, I'm not going to say anyone, but many people are not going to be surprised if the secret comes out.
Yeah.
And it just shows that these were patriots. They cared about the country. They wanted the country to, beat the Soviet Union or be top of the heap. So they said. So that's their motivations, but we've already taken over the planet. And we haven't done a very good job at managing it anymore, right? Because this rules-based order is only just for a few. We've weaponized the dollar. I think we're ahead of everyone. So and our economy's screwed. Wouldn't it make sense to just release all this, release the technology, revive the economy, pay off our stupid debt? We'll still be in charge since we're so ahead. But
yeah, you'd think so, but someone high up top decided that for some reason that's not the case.
Oh, this is a good one to end with, since we're at almost 2 hours. And I'm sure you've seen this one. So this is in the book, Magic Eyes Only. And they did so much research on this one. And it's the Extraterrestrial Entities and Technology Recovery and Disposal. Have you seen this document?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, it's a crazy, crazy document. And the guy is basically taking pictures of it.
Yeah.
1954. And here's people checking it out. There's his hands while he's taking pictures.
Oh no, they're gonna get him.
Yeah. Look at that.
God, they had fucking chapters.
Yeah. Operation Majestic 12, project purpose and goals, introduction, general definition and data, recovery operations, security, technology recovery, receiving and handling. Ooh, we should put this in our game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I've got so many thoughts. I'm holding back because we're on the show, but
okay.
Yeah.
So here's the project purpose and goals. Again, who would put this much effort in this?
Dude, this is what I'm saying. There's so much information. They wrote a book it's not a book, it's a what's it called?
Yeah, manuscript or
Yeah.
it says it right here. This is a top secret magical document containing compartmentalized information essential to national security of the United
But
States.
see, a document in my mind is like one, maybe 2 or 3 pages.
Right,
This is a book. This is
right.
a if
A
you have to
handbook,
put ch if you
handbook.
yeah, if you have to put chapters at the beginning, that's something else.
History of the group, and they got all the dates right. They got Forrestal, Bush in
Yeah,
there. Um,
just wild.
so let's get into like some crazy stuff in here. Description of extraterrestrial technology.
The following information is from preliminary analysis reports of wreckage
Wreckage. Yeah.
collected from crash sites of extraterrestrial craft 1947 to 1953, excerpts from which are quoted verbatim to provide guidance as to the type and characteristics of material that might be encountered in future recovery operations. Yikes. Initial analysis from the debris from the crash site seemed to indicate that the debris is that of an extraterrestrial craft. Yeah, which exploded from within.
Right.
That's an interesting. Um,
From within.
yeah, exactly. It came into contact with the ground with great force, completely destroying the craft. The volume of matter indicates that the craft was approximately the size of a medium aircraft, which, what the hell does that mean?
I know. Yeah, what that means.
Although the
30
weight of the
feet.
debris indicates that the craft was extremely light for its size, something that is always mentioned when you look into Roswell. Metallurgical analysis of the bulk of debris recovered indicates that the samples are not composed of any materials currently known to terrestrial science. The material tested possesses great strength and resistance to heat in proportion to its weight and size, being stronger by far than any materials used in military or civilian aircraft at present. Sorry. Much of the material having the appearance of aluminum foil or aluminum magnesium
Magnesium.
sheeting displays none of the characteristics of either metal, resembling instead some kind of unknown plastic-like material. Yeah, I mean, this is great. I mean, this is all stuff that was talked about when
Yeah.
when you look at the interviews with people who were around during Roswell. They all had the same sentiment.
Press blackout. They talk
Yeah,
about official denial, discredit witnesses, deceptive statements.
it's almost like the same thing they're doing today.
It's exactly the same. Secure the area. Like
That's
basically,
why, folks, if you see a UFO, if a UFO crashes near you, don't tell anyone. tell tell us. That's it.
the area must be secured as rapidly as possible to keep unauthorized personnel from infiltrating the site. The officer in charge will set up a perimeter and establish a command post inside the perimeter.
Also, probably don't touch the aliens because you will get sick, as we discussed earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
Area
sick,
sweep.
blur your picture.
Yeah. Removal and transport. There was this section about the aliens, like, or even the crafts. Oh, here they are. Sorry. Description of EBEs is EBE type 1, EBE type 2.
Wait, hold on. I want to read these. Entities are humanoid and might be mistaken for human beings of the Oriental race. They're Asian. If seen from a distance, they are bipedal, 2 feet, 5'5". What does that say? Five.
5, yeah, 5.5 to 5.5 feet 4 inches. Oh, 5 and
Yeah,
or
that's why
5
I was.
foot 4 inches. Yeah.
Anyway, they're about 5.5 feet tall. They weigh 80 to 100 pounds. Oh man, I'd kick this alien's ass. It's like the size of a fourth grader. Proportionally, they are similar to humans, although the cranium is somewhat larger. I mean, they're describing what we know as a gray
Race.
alien.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No ears. They say nose is thin and long. Oh, nose is thin and long, and the
The
mouth is
skin is
wider
a
than human.
pale, chalky yellow in color. It's thick. Oh, and slightly pebbled in appearance. Okay, actually, no, this is not
So
like what we see.
that's like scaly.
The eyes are small. Okay, wide
Oh,
set, almond shaped, with brownish black irises with very large pupils. Okay, this is not like we see with gray aliens.
no.
Interesting.
Yeah, the Roswell ones are different. They call them like children.
The whites of the eyes are not like that of humans, but have a pale gray cast. The ears are small and set low on the skull. Nose is thin and long, and the mouth is wider than in humans, nearly lipless. That's you know, that's typical of aliens.
Yeah.
There's no apparent facial hair. Didn't we talk about hairy aliens last week?
Yes, that was our last one. Hairy aliens.
And very little body hair. Hell yeah. And being very fine and confined to the underarm and the groin area. Wow, they
Huh.
did some real thorough research on these
Seriously.
aliens. Body's thin and without apparent body fat. You go, girl. But the muscles are well developed. So we're talking about short, jacked, hairless,
Yes.
small eyes, big headed aliens.
They're
Scary.
all muscular.
The hands are small with 4 long digits, but no opposable thumb. Well,
Huh.
stupid. Have thumbs,
Yeah.
aliens. Do better.
I know. Seriously.
The outside digit is jointed in a manner as to be nearly opposable. Wait, shit. Where'd that go?
Sorry.
And there's no webbing between the finger as in humans. Whoa, that's I'm looking at my hand right now. There's no webbing there.
I mean, some people have
Like,
more than others,
are they talking
but
about
yeah.
like from the wrist to the end of the fingers? There's no like palm. It's just fingers.
No, I think
Oh,
between the fingers, webbing between the fingers. Like we have slight webbing. Some people have more than others.
yeah, I guess, but like hardly noticeable. The
I mean,
legs
yeah,
are slightly but noticeably bowed.
bowed
So that means that they like bend
like
outwards.
cowboys.
Yeah, and the feet are somewhat splayed and proportionally large. Interesting. Now, this is type 2. These entities are humanoid but differ from type 1 in many respects. Bipedal, 3'5", 4'2". They're smaller.
Yeah.
These are small grays, and they only weigh 25 to 50 pounds.
Oh, these
Oh,
are the grays.
these are kindergartners. You could kick these as far as you want. Proportionally, the head is much larger than humans or the type 1s, the cranium being much larger and elongated. The eyes are very large. Okay,
Yeah.
these are the grays that we're thinking of.
Right.
Eyes are very large, slanted, and nearly wrap around the side of the skull. That's actually kind of an interesting. Anyway, they are black with no white showing. Yeah, this is very gray alien. There's no noticeable brow ridge, no eyebrows, and the skull has a slight peak that runs over the crown. Huh, like cavemen.
Yeah.
Nose consists The nose consists of two small slits which sit high above the slit-like mouth. There are no external ears. The skin is a pale bluish gray color. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is literally describing
Yeah. This is great.
what's in my PFP right now.
Yep. That's them.
Yeah,
And it's just
no
again
hair,
no thumb. Oh no, they have a thumb.
no hair. Arms are long. Hands have 3 long tapering fingers and a thumb. Interesting. Wow,
Yeah.
that's very cool. Very cool
It is
stuff.
not definitely known where either type of creature originates, but it seems certain that they did not evolve on Earth. It is further evident, although not certain, that they may have originated on two different planets.
Yeah. I mean, it's not completely. I'm sure there's been a bunch of science fiction stories that have talked about this, but it's not that far fetched to think that aliens work together.
No, not at all. I mean, we can see like, it's yes, it's a huge universe. So when life finds each other, I mean, life wants to find other life, so they're going to find other
Life
life.
finds a way.
It does. Oh, so maybe this is the one. Oh, this shows. So this is still part of it.
This is part 2.
Cleaning the area, but I want to see where the crafts are. Look at that. It even has the forms.
Yeah, that's wild.
Extraterrestrial technology packing list.
Good God. Found a weird gray tube. I'm gonna put it in this box, I guess.
Handling upon receipt of material. I mean, it just.
Wait. Actually, I do. Wow, they have the
Yeah,
diagram
look
of the box.
of how to pack it.
Jesus Christ. Good job, government. Unpack the specimens in a top security area to prevent access of unauthorized personnel. Cut the metal wires. Can you scroll down a little bit?
Yeah, I wonder who the contractor was who made this because
Yeah,
the
exactly.
government doesn't do anything.
Cut the metal wires with a suitable cutting tool. Remove screws. Okay, this is talking about the shipping container. Good God.
Oh, okay. Cut the barrier. So this is how they want it packed.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine some guy in the 1940s, 1950s, your US Air Force or military or whatever. Was the Air Force even around? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, well,
And
47 it was created.
you come across this crashed UFO and you have to pull out your little book here and
Yeah,
figure out how to package the alien bodies properly. I mean, hey Sarge, I found
such a
this arm
bureaucracy,
here.
huh? It's such a bureaucracy, but even like alien encounters, you got to follow a book.
Now, I'm just a simple military guy. What am I
Hmm.
supposed to do with this leg? It's only got 2 toes.
It sounds like Marvin the Martian.
Yeah.
I'm a Martian.
Hey, everybody. I'm here from Mars. What are you guys doing with that big box?
Chop. This is extraterrestrial EBEs. Basically, how they treat encounters. Encounters with EBEs may be classified according to one of the following
Ooh, this is gonna be
categories.
good.
Encounters in
Possible contact may take place as a result of overtures by the entities themselves.
Ooh,
Nice. In
yes.
these instances, this in these instances, it is
Anticipated.
anticipated, thank you, that encounters will take place at military installations or other secure locations selected by mutual agreement. Okay, so they're hereby admitting that we are in contact with aliens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. With mutual
Uh,
agreement.
Such meetings would have the advantage of being limited to personnel with appropriate clearance away from public scrutiny. Although it is not considered very probable, there also exists a possibility that EBEs may land in public places without prior notice.
Ah,
In this case, the OPNAC team, OPNAC, I don't know what that stands for, will formulate cover stories for the press and prepare briefings for the president of the chief and the chiefs of
oh,
staff.
I wonder. That sounds very
Wow.
familiar, huh?
So they got a plan.
Yeah.
And this is part B, encounters as a result of a downed aircraft.
Aha. There we go.
Contact with survivors of accidents or craft down by natural events or military action may occur with little to no warning. Yeah. In these cases, it is important that the initial contacts be limited to military personnel to preserve security. Civilian witnesses in the area will be detained and debriefed by MJ-12. Contact with EBEs by military personnel not having MJ-12 or OPNAC clearance is to be strictly limited to action necessary to pursue the availability of EBEs for study by the OPNAC team.
I guess operational national security or something.
Something like that.
Isolation and custody. EBEs will be detained by whatever means are necessary and removed to a secure location as soon as possible. Precautions will be taken by personnel coming in contact with the EBEs to minimize the risk of disease as a result of contamination by unknown organisms. If the entities are wearing spacesuits or breathing apparatus of some kind, care should be exercised to prevent damage to these devices, of course. While all efforts should be taken to assure the well being of the EBEs, they must be isolated from any contact with authorized personnel. While it's not clear what provisions or amenities might be required by non human entities, they should be provided if possible. The officer in charge of the operation will make these determinations. No guidelines now exist to cover this area.
Wow.
They went through everything, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I find this very fascinating, honestly.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's the retrieval of actual hardware. Oh, here they are. Oh, it's not that clear, but it shows.
Yeah, but I mean, we've covered all
Yeah.
of these types of UFOs on the show
Yep.
before. I mean, there's the triangle, that's
Cylinder.
there's the cylinder. I mean, there's the bell top. I mean, all of these UFOs have been seen by people. That triangle one, I still get shivers thinking about that. Remember, we
Yeah,
showed that video like months ago of
I downloaded it.
that guy who was filming the triangle UFO outside of his house, like from inside of his house. And
Yeah,
the thing is so ominous and scary looking. It's just woof.
I do not want to see one of those.
No, that's when you know you're in trouble. I
Yeah.
feel like, yeah, the circular UFOs, yeah, no, it's a good time. Triangle UFOs, you know, you're done. Just
Okay,
say your prayers.
yeah, there's something about those crafts, right? Like, it just
Yeah.
seems evil in a way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So rules of thumb, and then indexes.
Yeah, I want to get my hand
That's it.
on this book.
I bet you it's archive.org.
Yeah, I hope so.
So let's see what they say.
32-page manual shows the crafts as being disc-shaped, cigar-shaped, or triangular, or ice cream cone-shaped. Yay! Entities are of two types. We covered those. They're not known as terrestrial science. Of the principal objectives is to keep the public in the dark. Yeah, we know.
Mm-hmm.
This in chapter 4, they tell you how to box it up properly. Very interesting stuff.
Anything about like how they authenticated it? I mean, for a couple of years they used that label instead of UFO. What UFO? Oh, UFO B.
Does it say in part 1 how they authenticated it?
The last page is very impressive. The references are genuine on page 28. You can go to the archives and get a 1954 document and get the same reference numbers, the same reference titles, word for word, comma for comma.
Nice. So this is the real deal.
Yeah, this is the
that's
real
why
deal.
it's marked as highly
authentic.
Authentic. Thank you.
Yeah, I want this document now just to have it before it gets wiped. You know, they're wiping everything. Did you hear? Like MTV News is gone completely. All that. I mean, that's what sparked the conversation. Is that they're erasing the internet and they're thinking it's because of general AI. They don't want.
I've been seeing that more and
more.
more.
You brought that up too. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been seeing it for the last couple of years.
I mean, this website could be gone if they stop paying for the domain. It's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's not making money off of it, why should he keep it up? So that's why it's like websites like archive.org are just so great to have.
This last one here, the Bowen manuscript,
yeah,
1959, perhaps the most stunning physical evidence for the existence of top secret magic program is this original 339-page document about flying saucers, written by Vernon Bowen. The original is on watermarked paper with red top secret magic stampings on some of the chapters. Most of the rest shows that the document is marked confidential. Original handwritten margin.
I don't know what that is.
Marginalia. It's stuff written in the margins, I think, is what.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, it shows linkages to Project White Hot, Twining, Vanover Bush, Moondust, and Donald Manziel. A well-written snapshot of the public history of flying saucers from 1947 to 1954. Bowen was personally well connected to many top people.
So yeah, I think we've done a good summary.
Yeah, I mean, you and I both, you more than me, have a knowledge of MJ-12, but I mean, this is kind of, where it all started in terms of government being involved with UFO crashes and stuff.
Yeah, and so many credible people have come forward, and it's just enough, especially like Carl Nell, right? He's one who said zero doubt. With Rush.
We have all this proof here. I mean, we literally went through it this episode. It's really stupid when people say, "Oh, where's the proof of UFOs and aliens?" And like, we literally just went through the handbook about how to, how to, when you see a UFO, what to do next. I mean, what to do with the bodies and stuff like that. I mean, it's crazy how much information there is out there.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they do it on purpose. So they're not going to officially say it, but they leak it out for those that, want to know and want to dig. And I guess maybe that's how they filter out just the public that they think in their eyes don't deserve to know. So maybe in their eyes, if you're interested and you're researching and you're asking the questions, maybe you deserve to know whatever they put out there.
Yeah.
I don't know what the thinking is.
Well, and I just want to say again, this is not created by this website. It's not created by, nobodies have no idea what they're talking about. I mean, these are, as we discussed at the beginning, these are journalists. These are really smart people that, you know, they've been doing this for a long time. These are actual people who do the research. They study. You know, they go after the government.
Yeah, these are not people that want to push anything they see. They're not gullible. They want to know the truth too. So, like we saw, I mean, they look at everything, the words written, the vocabulary, uh, the reference numbers, all that before they release these documents. So
Yeah.
we're lucky, definitely lucky. I remember they used to be able to buy all those documents, but you can't anymore, which sucks
Hmm.
because I would, right?
Yeah. No. Totally.
Donate. It's just see. So if you click here, you go to the new book,
Hmm.
which is a great book. This one, Magic Eyes Only: Earth's Encounters with Extraterrestrial Technology, paperback.
Wow. And they, I guess they re-released it.
Exactly.
Good. Yeah.
Jim Mars did the forward. I love Jim Mars. He passed
Hell
away
yeah.
during COVID.
Well, good. I hope all of you appreciated our deep dive into the MJ-12 papers. Go ahead and do the research yourself. Look into it. I mean, there's, you know, we touched the tip of the iceberg there, but there is so much
We did.
involved with our government and UFOs. They're intertwined. They really are, and it has been for such a long time, as we saw ever since Roswell. And you know, people who are curious as to why Roswell was such a big deal. This is, you know, proof.
Yeah, and we know why it was such a big deal is because our presidents and our generals wanted that technology. They wanted us to be top of the heap, and they said it right there that they had disinformation campaigns so we can remain top of the heap and that we are never under attack by anyone or anything. And they've succeeded at that. You know, we've become a global empire. You know, and yes, we have been going through some bumps lately because we're mismanaging the empire, but it just shows that the foundation of building this empire was UFOs and then UFO secrecy and that cover up. And we can just see with these historical documents that there was so much interest back and forth from the president himself and the generals. And then somewhere down the line, when it went to Majestic and went to the CIA, that it just became them. And they did not involve the president anymore. And it just seems like it was the secret government and these contractors creating technologies that we see today in our phones, in our computers, in communications. I mean, it's right there in those documents that fiber optics were there in those crafts. We didn't know what fiber optics were. You know, they said glass cylinder like things. And they figured it out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is absolutely bizarre. Looking at the jump from technology that we had during that time, you know, and finding this kind of stuff, and then all of a sudden, the you know, the people, the general public has it now.
Exactly, it's in our hands. Like we're sitting there doing with touch screens, with supercomputers in our hands, that can do anything really. I mean, it's like a mobile, it's a mobile everything, right? It's a mobile recording studio. The apps that run on these smartphones, they run on them because they're powerful. So
it's cool stuff, but just never forget where it came from.
yeah, never forget where it came from. Exactly. Well, one day it'll be out, and hopefully, shows like ours can contribute to this knowledge. And I'm sure people listening, maybe a lot of you haven't heard about MJ-12, but it's there. Those documents have been authenticated. It's a rich history of the United States, or I guess post-war United States. It makes you just see everything in a different perspective.
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, it really pisses me off, like how secret the whole UFO business has been. But on the other hand, it's really good. It's so cool, secret government stuff.
It is so cool. Yeah,
it's like a movie.
Yeah. And I get it. Why I get why they did it, but I mean, we're kind of beyond that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I get it from like the 40s, 50s perspective, but now we're so far beyond that. I mean, Like every movie that comes out nowadays has aliens in it. I mean, it's like in our zeitgeist. I don't
Yeah.
understand why it still has to be kept secret.
To save an embarrassment, to save the crimes, right? It's just
When
too
it comes
much.
down to it, I think it's about money. We don't want other countries in the world to know what we truly have. That's all it is.
And maybe all these patents will be null and void if they were like stolen, kind of thing, because all the technology around us has been patented.
Can you steal a technology that crashed on Earth from another planet? Is that truly stealing? If you reverse manufacture or whatever the hell it's called,
reverse engineer
Wi-Fi from aliens from Mars, is that stealing?
I mean, I guess not. Then maybe what it is, like, oh, so you humans can't figure this stuff out. You need help, and we don't want that getting out either.
What we need Marvin from Mars to come down and sue like Harry S. Truman.
And Roosevelt.
And Ike.
Ike. Oh no, not Ike.
No,
Ike
I like Ike. He was the last good president, in my opinion.
Yeah, he warned us.
He did. He warned us, and we completely did not listen.
I mean, maybe he shouldn't have made MJ-12 then. I guess.
This is on you, Ike.
No, I mean, his daughter's out there saying stuff like that. Or sorry, granddaughter.
He did warn us about the growing industry of the military-industrial complex. Yeah.
And here we are today. Our economy cannot function without a military-industrial complex. We need wars.
But think about those Think about this poor Israelis or the poor Ukrainians. We have to send them money and weapons.
And weapons, because we can't survive without it. So maybe it just, that's why if they release these technologies, revive the economy, to change it where it's not based on war anymore, we could still have a very strong defense if we're not out there blowing people up.
Yeah, I mean, they could work a little bit faster. I'm still not going to be able to buy a house anytime soon.
Well, with the revived economy, you will be able. I mean,
that's great. The S&P is skyrocketing. Thank God for that. I still can't afford to buy groceries, though. But
I know,
who cares?
Right?
Who cares? The stock market, it's booming.
And rent keeps going up. And
fucking tell me about it.
But yeah, our whole system of government and money's got to change. Basically, money. Sorry to say it, you bankers out there, but in our original constitution, we didn't have a central bank. Or money based on debt. That's why we're in debt.
Yeah, I'm really terrified of the future of money, because as we know, it's going to be all digital, and then the government's going to find some reason to put a hold on your account. So you can't buy money if you said anything against trans people or whatever the soup of the month is over there.
DC. Don't put it past them. As long as, I guess, I mean, they are trying to pass, or did they? They passed it in Congress, right? That the Federal Reserve cannot create a cryptocurrency because they want to be private with their cash too. It's not like these guys are upstanding individuals.
Oh yeah, no, the Bankers of America, they're great people. They definitely care about every American in this country, and they would do us no wrong, for sure.
Yes, they have lots of empathy for normal folks.
Definitely, lots of empathy. They care about us.
Well, I think we kind of maybe not proved of the MJ-12 documents, but there is a lot of circumstantial evidence and authenticated documents that there is a group within the United States that deals with crashed UFOs or brought down UFOs or visitations, and how to secure the locations, how to pack it up, right? And then where to send that technology, and then who knows what happens after that.
Yep. Who knows? It goes into the Indiana Jones archive, that big warehouse where they put everything
the warehouse,
the wooden boxes, just kind of wheel it off to the side.
I like that movie. The one
Indiana Jones is great. I haven't seen the newest one.
Me neither.
Crystal Skull, obviously not that great, but I kind of get what he was going for with that. But the original three, The Ridge Tridge, so good. Indiana Jones is fantastic.
Absolutely, I agree. Another George Lucas movie.
It was,
Well, it was him and Spielberg the first
yeah, I
one.
was gonna say in Spielberg, yeah.
Yeah.
He does. Spielberg does okay. I mean,
He does.
I like. I mean, he did E.T. right? That was him.
Yep, A.T. is him.
And he's coming out
Close
with
Encounters.
Close Encounters, and he's coming out with a new UFO movie next year.
Yeah, he said it's a completely original story.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Did you see Super 8, by the way?
I did. That's a great one.
That's also a very good alien movie, and it's not like super scary for people who are like when they see aliens on screen they freak out. But that one's
No,
good.
it's a feel good movie. It feels like
is a
Stand
feel-good
by
movie.
Me in a way.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah.
Stand by Me. That's a really good comparison. Or Stranger Things is honestly scarier.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
scarier than Super 8.
Oh, for sure it is.
Super 8 was fantastic. Yeah.
And that's J.J. Abrams. He did Super
Mhm.
8.
Yeah, that guy, talk about hit or miss. Mostly
Right.
miss.
Yeah, Cloverfield was him.
I really like Cloverfield, and I liked I think it's called 11 Cloverfield Lane.
Is that the second one?
Yeah. And then there's also a third one.
You're kidding me.
No. And that one wasn't very good, but I still kind of like it just because I like that whole setting.
Yeah, is it the found footage?
No, the second, third are not found footage, only the first one. But it's still like that whole people. I'm kind of a sucker for those type of movies where people running from a monster and they're trying to figure out what's going on. I don't know if there's like a term or word for it.
Yeah, I don't think.
But both the second and third one, you're trying to figure out what the hell the monster is, and then you don't figure it out until the very end, and then even then you're kind of left with questions, and I like that.
Oh, cool! I didn't know there was 3 of them. All right, I'm gonna check those out as well.
11 Cloverfield Lane is probably the best because it has
the third one.
That's the second one.
Second one.
That has nothing to do. Honestly, 99.9% of that movie has nothing to do with aliens but it's just the setting of it. It's so tense and cool. It's got that big fat guy. What's his name?
That's a tough one.
That doesn't really narrow it down. He's in a ton of movies. He's done a lot. Have you seen Oh Brother?
The King of Queen guy?
No. Have you seen Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yes, but a long time ago. I mean, that's George Clooney.
Who's the guy who's playing the Cyclops?
How come I can't remember
that? John Goodman.
Woo! Oh, Goodman. Oh, okay. Wow. There. He's good.
John Goodman, 11 Cloverfield.
Wait a minute. I have seen 11 Cloverfield. It's in a bunker?
Yes. Yeah.
I have seen it. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's this is what I'm talking about. It's very good. But it has nothing to do with aliens.
Nothing at all. It's such a good movie.
Very, very end.
Yes, exactly. Okay, and that's when they tied together. Is at the very, very, very end. Okay. So there's a third one.
The third one takes place on the ISS, if I believe correctly.
What? So cool. Are these all J.J. Abrams, or he just did the first one?
No, I think he's a producer on 2 and 3. In fact, Cloverfield Lane, that wasn't even a part of that universe until some producer stepped in at the very end and was like, hey, how about we make it part of this series?
Smart. That's smart.
Love John Goodman, though. Very good actor.
Me too. Yeah. He's a great actor.
He was a major alcoholic, which I can totally relate to.
Oh, I didn't know that. So he's done?
No. He's fine now, apparently.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah, that's why he's lost all the weight.
Nice. Well, yeah, that makes sense. It's a fucking ton of calories. Like each drink can be like 200, 300 calories.
Yeah. Now tell me about
it. And Tucker, Tucker used to drink.
Yeah. I saw a really good clip of Tucker. He was in Australia talking to. Did you see that one?
Yes, he killed them.
It just destroyed. Oh, should we talk about the debate, or is that too depressing?
I mean, it's up to you.
We can just touch on it. I just want to say it's really sad that we're here in politics in this country. It's sad how bad things have gotten.
Oh well, there's 2 funny clips actually. You sent me a funny clip, and then I had a funny clip of the debate. I forgot about those.
Yeah,
Um,
let's play them and wrap it up, huh?
okay, so wait, we
Wait,
have.
well, before you play that, let's say thank you all so much for listening to the Uncovering Anomalies podcast. That is I Have a Need to Know, Adam.
Yes.
And Adam, do you want to say where you can find us on social media?
Everybody, I know not all of you like Twitter or X, but that's what we're on, and it's just easy for us to interact with our fans, our followers, and of course the community. So make it on over there and check out UAPX. We're at our handle is UAP the podcast. We share our episodes there, news of UAP. We interact with the community, and if you want us to feature something in the show, just tag us and we'll try our best to do so. We're on all podcasting platforms. Yeah, you want to say something?
No, I was just gonna say, I mean, every once in a while we get tagged on X, relating to something that we talk about, and it's great. I get a little skip in my heart when I see that.
It is nice. And we're not on anything else though. We're not on Facebook. We're not on Instagram. We're not really on TikTok. I mean, it's just too much to handle, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
you can find us on there, interact with us there. We're on all podcasting platforms, all major ones, all small ones. So you can find us there. We're on all video platforms. That includes YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. And other than that, you can write us an email at uncoveringanomalies@gmail.com if there's a request you guys have or something, or a book you want us to review, or maybe an interview request. I don't know. Hit us up there and we'll take a look at it.
Tell us about your abduction story. I want to hear from people who have been abducted by aliens. I'm dead serious. I'm not going to make fun. I'll probably make jokes because that's what I do. But tell us about your abduction story because I want to hear it. I really do.
I do too. I mean, I've seen a bunch of UFOs in my life. I felt presences before, but they could have been demonic. So, but I've never been abducted.
That
I
know
mean,
of.
That I know of. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to do any hypnosis to find out.
Oh God, no! I'm terrified what would happen to me if I was put under hypnosis. But also, hypnosis is not the end all be all. A lot of people who are hypnotized, they come up with stuff that didn't really happen, but it's just stuff that they've heard.
Exactly.
And it comes out through your subconscious.
And to your point about the debate, I'm sure everyone has seen it. If you haven't, it was terrible for Biden. It was embarrassing. He lost his train of thought. Trump was hilarious and insulted him at the right time. Biden's insults were childish, basically. What do you say? He's like, you're something. You're a loser, or I don't know.
Yeah,
he's talking about the troops or something. You're a sucker. You're a loser.
Yeah, I just, the Democrats set this up. They put all these rules like the muted mic and no audience. And honestly, I think Trump benefited from all of that.
It backfired.
It totally backfired. Yeah. And I don't know, we were talking about this before the show. I don't know what the Democrats are doing, what their plan is, because their plan has been terrible. They don't seem to. We were talking about this off mic, through texting, and we were saying like I thought it was a scheme to allow Biden a way to drop out, gracefully. But they're doubling down where they're saying, okay, Biden is not going to step out. We're running him, and it just doesn't make any sense. Which means they want Trump in office.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
It's so bad. That debate was so bad that I see Reddit comments talking about how much Biden was bad, and that's saying something. For those of you who don't use Reddit, it is the furthest left platform you can be on.
Yeah, and at this point, it's elderly abuse.
It is
to have this guy go over the 40s. Look at him here, please. Just look at his face.
Yeah, actually, I was talking to my mom about it, and I was gonna, that's one of my things. I was like, oh, this is elder abuse, but she might have brought it up before I did, and she was actually madder at Jill than she was Joe, because she was like, how dare she do that to her husband? And I totally agree.
Give a crap. Yeah, she doesn't give a crap. She's married to power, and she just wants the power. And this guy can just she won't even care if he dies.
No, of course not.
So this is an event after the debate. They're basically babying Joe. They're saying, "Oh, you did so good. You answered all the questions." I mean, what? It's just pathetic. So pathetic. So here, let's take a listen. And here's his face.
I saw in him then the same character that I see in him today. And even though he has faced unimaginable tragedies, his optimism is undaunted. His strength is unshakable. His hope is undeterred. I saw in him then the same.
Just unreal. I did see that Trump had tweeted all of Biden's like stumbling things during the debate, and that's the best campaign you can run. It's just exactly. Help, I'm lost.
I want to see if there's anything from the debate because there was some funny clips.
I mean, Biden couldn't even walk off stage. He had to have his wife come out and help him down the stairs. It's really sad and pathetic.
His hope is undeterred.
No kidding.
Sad. It's just sad. Well, I mean, it looks like it is inevitable. I don't think they can even fake this one.
No, they're going to tell us the whole debate was a deep fake. What the so
Poor
weird.
baby.
Yeah, look at even that kid is like weirded out. Jesus.
And the parents
Christ.
don't care.
No, of course not. They're paid to be there. Do you ever do that? You've got a kid. Have you ever done that to your kid?
I've never done that. No.
Can you imagine doing that to someone else's kid?
No.
That's terrifying.
All right. So, and then you shared this really funny one. Conspiracy theorist.
I hope you have that YouTube video.
Man, listening to us. Yeah, great. But I don't think they listen in on people whose mattress is on the floor. So you're safe. Heard that. Was listening through the door. You're coming with us. Preparing 5G stun gun. Targets neutralized. All right, take the blindfolds off. Where are we? You're on the moon. The local moon. Because that's all there is. Obviously. Now, we need you guys for a special project. So first, a quick rundown. The local moon had to be colonized, of course, because it allows us to control the weather. There's our operator now. Shalom. Hey, make sure it rains in Botswana tomorrow. Okay. Here's where the moon landing was filmed, using green screen. Why would you use green screen if you're already on the local moon? Budgeting problems. What? But the filming happened several years after the Russians first landed here in 1963 because it gave them a better angle to shoot JFK. Just like I said. But of course, it was all orchestrated by the Culinary Institute of America, CIA. Knew it. You so did not know that. Hey, boys. Anyone want a hippity hop on this frog dick? This here's where women cause global warming. Look at that. Right again. How in the fuck did you say that? I literally said global warming is not man-made. What aren't you getting about this? And this is where Nelson Mandela changes words and logos just slightly. They'll never notice this for a few years. That's actually really comforting. Now, here's where you guys come in. I want to feel shame during Pride Month. It's kinkier that way. Before Laura Bush joined Al-Qaeda so she could become a pilot to do 9/11 on Taco Tuesday, we believe she stole the vaccine for autism and had Dr. Fauci engineer it to give you AIDS and COVID. We want that technology. Classic Bush. Frog legs are on the menu tonight, boys. And every night. We believe they're working with China and the Portuguese. Knew it. Fuck the ports. So we're going to take you guys to the Bermuda Triangle where you'll find Atlantis. It's right next to the secret exit of the Denver airport, right behind the Large Hadron Collider wormhole. Can't miss it. Let's just say I had no problem persuading Pharaoh. His heart wasn't the only thing hardened that night. And that's where we think you'll find the vaccine. Report back. Oh, shit. Here it is. Never mind. Must have dropped it. All right. We don't need you guys anymore. Kill them. Told you. Shut the fuck up.
Great stuff.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. That was a great clip. The frog is something else, man.
Tonight frog legs are on the menu and every night.
Every night.
Well, once again, thank you all for listening to our deep dive on the Majestic 12 documents. We
Yes,
hope
that
you
was
enjoyed
fun.
it. Let us know if you have any ideas for further deep dive shows, and we'll get right on that. I'm Topher, and we will see you all next week.
Yep. See you all next week.